Welcome into the Dice Dragons Guild. In this hall, we unite under one banner. Shit, I didn't set this up. Live, die. Die. Ooh, that's a 2.
What's
I'll
up?
take that.
4. 7.
7.
Oh wow, 2, 4,
17.
7.
17.
17.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you had
Hooray!
seven also.
At least somebody got double digits.
That's like
you
the
guys
second
get?
time I've gotten
2,
double digits. I
4?
always get like single.
Alright, well, we know who we're starting with.
Oh shit.
Before we get started on everything, thank you so much to everyone who helped with our fundraiser, our annual Stand Up to Cancer fundraiser. We breached $2,500 for the week. 9 days. It was a resounding success. We blasted through. Sorry, I'm just adjusting that so it's not too loud. We blasted through last year's 1750, and then the 2520 was just what was on Tiltify, so that doesn't count. Like my work matched whatever donations my coworkers made and what I made. And then there were people that did bits and subs and just everything all together. I don't know what the final tally is, but between our 2 campaigns from this year and last year, we raised over $4,000. So, and that's just the 2. I think this is our 3rd year that we've actually done it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The first year was COVID-y, so it was online.
Yeah.
Like only. We didn't have an actual arena yet.
Right. So great job. Thank you so much. And we'll be doing it again. And there'll be even more games next year. Some of the games ended up being postponed due to life happening for people. So we'll see you next year. But thank you. And yeah, definitely over $5,000 in 3 years.
Is it still up on Twitch? Like, was it recorded and stored somewhere? Or YouTube?
So our arena battle from the 13th is either already on the compound or it will be. Like the VOD will be there. I haven't checked to see, but it's there. And you can see our TikToks with our dinosaurs and gelatinous cubes with Goblin Williams on it. And very excited.
His name was Goblin.
We are up to 173 YouTube subscribers as of today, which is a huge deal because the last time I said this, we were at 159, and that was, I don't know, 2 weeks ago.
No, was it 2 weeks? I thought it was
It was
earlier
2
this
Sundays
week.
ago. No, the last time I said it on.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it was 153 subscribers.
Yeah.
Anyway, 20 subscribers. We're a tiny little stream, so that's very exciting for us. And tell your friends. So,
Please. Like toddlers taking our first steps.
Yay, 20. The rain falls,
She's looking at me.
light and steady from the sky, but you cannot blame that for your blurred vision. As you kneel on the soggy jungle floor, gripping the starlight's tear in your hand. Its name feels somewhat mocking in this moment, your tears making it impossible to see clearly. Everything about this feels so familiar in a way that you wish it did not. Kneeling, you can see her scared, pained face staring up into yours, even as your vision began to blur. Back then, when the tears began to well up. Zara didn't want to go, and there was nothing that you could do to keep her here. You could only hold her as she left you, crying and wailing in the street. And you were there alone, though surrounded by people trying to help. Too late. And now here you are again, kneeling, the silver and blue necklace worn by your mentor, all that remains of her in your hands. But this time, you could have kept her here. And you didn't get to hold her as she left. And the last look in her eyes as she fell backwards into the Fey portal in front of you was not fear. But you did see pain. And something else. Disappointment, anger, sorrow, disdain, malice. Whatever it was, you had never seen it before directed at you in the decade that you've known her. But she left this behind. Why? You blink and wipe away the tears, and the Starlight's tear just lies there, heavy in your hands. You realize that the familiarity of this moment goes beyond its similarities to that horrible night all those years ago. This isn't the first time that you've held this item. You blink again and swear for a moment you see a pair of hands, jet black and slightly bigger than your own, though slender, with long fingers pulling away from your clasped hands, as if they had just placed the Starlight's tear within them. But as you look up, you are instead greeted by the faces of your companions, the woven fates, the ones you chose to hold on to as you let Melpomene go. Iolite, Eldon and Theratrix, Kai, Kethra, and Nyx, who followed you into the jungles of Yamari to confront your mentor with the accusations that she was involved in blackmail and illicit trade of unsanctioned runestone weapons. But more importantly, that she had neglected to tell you that she was routinely traveling to the Fey Wild, the very place that you had disappeared into for 20 years, decades ago. The very place you wanted answers about. These young people had stood by you, stood up for you, and were standing beside you now as you worked through your grief. And now, as you all gather here, midday, Glee 16, the sky white with rain clouds, what are you doing?
That was my ugly cry.
You missed the snot bubble.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything right now.
I'm sorry, Ayla.
Wipe it on a leaf.
We should be going, I suppose.
If you need a minute, we understand.
There will be minutes to be had later. Unless there is anything else we need here, we should just leave.
Is the necklace on the ground, or
It's in her hand. She picked it up.
back to the city?
All right.
We didn't explore this ruin, right? We just kind of...
It's not a ruin. It is just a circle of mushrooms.
We went through a ruin.
You went
Okay,
through
so
a ruin
through the
earlier.
ruins, okay.
Yes. No. So you're not in the ruins.
Oh,
you
yeah. I
stand.
thought we were like in a ruin that like had collapsed and was like open and exposed to the elements.
No, that was
Okay.
that was
We
something
were.
you passed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are currently in front of this circle that allegedly leads to the Fey Wild.
Suppose back to the city. Is there anything else around us, or is it just forest?
It's just jungle.
It's jungle.
Looking around, I mean, you're all kind of standing there, getting more and more wet as the raindrops fall from the sky, but nothing else of note. Kethra, you do notice that Nyx seems to be backing away from that portal, like not getting any closer. And even as you maybe had stepped forward to speak to Melpomene, jumped off your back and stayed further behind.
Can't take me back.
I won't go back. You can't make me.
And it's interesting sitting there looking at this circle because there's no indication that there's anything here. If you hadn't seen her kind of fall back into this tear, almost like someone kind of cut fabric and then you fall back and it zipped right back in, like you'd never know.
Eldon's gonna like pick up a pebble, just like
You flick it, it actually goes right through and lands on the other side.
It does not work that way.
suppose not.
I'm making sure I'm standing between Ayla and this circle of mushrooms still. Just
How
position-
did you know?
just
what
positioned
I was
myself.
thinking? It's like, let's go, everybody. Just go. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The whole party would jump on you. It's like, pow, pow, pow.
I'll have. Oh, go ahead.
It seems Melpomene's left you something.
Yes. It would seem that way. I don't put it on. I'm just like holding it.
Okay.
Does it feel magical?
It's hard to tell. It looks as if it's been polished every day for its entire existence. Like, it is so bright in your hand. It's almost like if you picture from Lord of the Rings, what's her name? Blonde.
Galadriel.
Yeah, Galadriel. Like, she had that, and it was so bright. Like, that silver was just blinding. It's kind of like that. Not blinding, but very, it's beautiful,
Like
as if
pristine.
like it was just made yesterday and perfect.
Yeah. I did not know.
Maybe you should wear it.
When I am ready, perhaps.
She must have left it for you for a reason.
Or a warning.
Doesn't seem like the type of item she would just let slip through her fingers.
That's why it could be a warning.
Still gonna be doing your show tonight?
The show must go on.
So I set you up for that one. I'm hoping that you would say that.
Only an amateur would not perform when they are expected to.
Well, in that case, work before play. We have to go check out that boat by the docks.
Oh, the spooky boat.
That way we can get the information on the lightning bolt tattoo.
Are we doing that the next day? Right? No, that's now.
No, the next day we have to go and find the rift at the end of the trail.
This is all on your own time. This is all on your own
I
time.
was gonna say, like,
We
I
got
thought
our
we had
own
to- thought-
personal
thought we had to-
itinerary that
yeah,
we
I thought
were
we had to
discussed.
perform, meet the mayor,
yeah, for
do the boat, find the
Today,
rift.
today we have the boat, your
Let's
performance,
bust
and
out the
man.
agenda, the adventuring agenda.
So all of
Itinerary.
this, so just as a recap of what, in terms of dedicated time, the only dedicated thing you decided you were, or that you have to do today because of prior promises, and even then you don't have to do it, is that your performance. You can go to the boat
And
as
meeting
soon
the
as,
mayor, because we said
Well,
we would do that.
yeah, the mayor said that she would meet with you after the performance. So your performance is this evening, if you should choose to do it. The boat you can technically do whenever. Like there's no, they didn't give you you must do it today at this time or whatever. You can do it today if you want. And then there is going to the Rift. You can do that also whenever you want to, or not. But that's, what you have told them that you would. It wasn't that they necessarily expected you to do it
Quest
tomorrow.
coordinates.
But these are an open side quest that can be
Right.
checked
It's like these are the things you can do. You also did leave some stuff. The Manticore spikes with Pappy Polly. And you have that you can or not check back in with Lunu, depending on how you think this is going to go.
Guy ruined my life. Fuck him.
And we all drove Balstead to what's her name? Callie?
Callie, you can.
And I have to see my mom.
Yep, you can see your mom. So there's a bunch of things, but there's no time limit. It's all on your own time, except for your performance. So, but if you want to go to the boat today,
What
that's your
time of the day is it?
It's midday,
Midday.
like 11:30. It's approaching noon right now.
And we left the city when?
Pretty early in the morning, like
So-
right when the
so
sun
it took us
began.
3 or so hours to get here, something like that?
Probably like 5.
5 hours? Mm-hmm. To get all the way here.
I do not think we're going to make the boat today.
And the last thing we want to do is be checking a so-called spooky boat at night, I feel. Not to mention, I'm pretty busted up. Eldon's
Do you need to take a rest?
would be nice.
We have a long trek to get back.
Eldon's coming. Just like sit on a stump.
So we could perhaps by a tree out of the rain.
He's just sitting on a stump.
There are heavy.
Just like
Word that. There are trees in the area with very heavy and thick canopies that you can hang out under.
How far is the tree, like the memorial tree?
You don't know. You lost sight of that. You lost sight of that a while ago.
Okay, this is all more spread out than I had in my mind. I thought in my mind it was like all in the same.
No, you kept
relative
trekking,
area.
and
Okay.
there was no further encounters or anything. So are you taking a quick rest?
I could use it.
All right. So you all
After
settle
that-
in.
After the devil boat that almost ate me.
Oh, yeah.
Us.
Yes.
Sorry, almost ate us.
Settle
We're doing a bit
down.
better than
Did
you
eat
are.
their drinks.
I don't take shelter under a tree.
Okay.
I'm sitting.
In your emotions.
I'm sitting in my emotions, facing the ring.
Facing the rain.
The
Oh, the ring.
the
ring,
mushroom
yeah.
ring.
Okay.
Not super close to it, but I am just like facing it, sitting on a stump in the rain.
Okay.
There's a
You
Led
rolling some
Zeppelin
hit die too.
like
You can roll hit dice if you got
in
hurt.
there.
Yeah, I
Just
figured
the
if you
full
were gonna
moon.
go and you would have done it by now. So
You stopped
I'm not
me.
gonna.
What was that
babysit
roll?
you
Like
anymore.
it was like you rolled a 4 on strength, and I rolled like a 2.
It was
It was, like,
8
very
versus
close.
7. It was an
Sorry,
8 and a 7.
It was I was gonna say it was
the
close.
weakest
You went
stand up.
It would
ever.
have been an
No, I just rolled,
interesting
I rolled 2,
shift.
but the 2
in
came
the
out to
story.
give me exactly 46.
What's Kethra doing?
She's gonna grab Nyx and pull him under a tree and just kind of hide with him and go, "Don't worry, buddy. You won't have to go back."
Does this rest get rid of the?
No. Oh, the exhaustion?
Yeah,
If you
'cause
had
you said-
temporary, then
yeah.
yes. Yes.
Not
You
mine,
said we
no.
only
No,
got
not
it from
yours.
like
This is a short rest.
what the hell
Yes.
was it? Yeah.
From crossing the river in the
Right.
cold and
Yeah,
stressing
totally.
against that. So if you had the temporary exhaustion, who I can't remember who that was, but if you had that temporary one, then
I had 8
Goes
temporary hit points. Does that get?
no, you keep it.
Oh,
It goes away at a
okay.
long rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just deleted that for no reason. Should have waited until.
Iolite, as you are sitting there, kind of your focus has been on Ayla, and you're still like really focused on Ayla, but
Oh, I'm gonna roll one more.
you're
I have 5.
feeling almost a little bit like tipsy, like that feeling of like not quite drunk, but either tipsy or on that like when you're so exhausted that things look a little bit slightly blurry. It's like it's one of those strange feelings of you can't tell if it's good, like being a little tipsy, or bad, like I'm so exhausted that I'm kind of seeing blurred vision. It's a strange place, and you can feel you're still not quite a pain, but just like a heaviness in your chest. But you also feel stronger. And yet, as if all of these years of having that little piece of something extra, you had learned to kind of control that. And you knew, again, like you knew how much to drink to get a little tipsy. And now there is also a feeling of a slight lack of control. Or that unknown of, I feel bad keep coming back to drugs, but when it's something that is a foreign object in your body, a foreign thing that you're introducing, and you don't know how much you can take before you've crossed the line, that is what is like, there's something new, and you don't know what it means.
Since everyone's kind of like keeping to themselves, I want to kind of like turn away and sort of like look, take a peek, see if it looks any different, since it feels really different.
What you notice now is that before you knew something was in there, but you couldn't quite see it. Like it was like there was something there and the crack was there. Now you can see just like even just a little bit of light glinting off of it. There's a little shine, like glitter, kind of like that slight. Like you had a piece of glass stuck in you, and you can't see where it is until the light hits it just right. It's kind of what it looks like.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to the nearest bush and throw up in it. And then sit down.
Am I sitting there? She's like,
You're sitting wherever you want.
Just a little one. It's not like
Just a
those little like puke
Thought
rally
it was an
thing.
underdog. I didn't know it was tequila.
Exactly. It's one of those little like rally, puke and rally kind of. I'm like, oh.
Just do it.
My head on my knees, just kind of. Oh.
What a sorry bunch we are right now.
well, if everyone's just kind of being quiet, like to themselves, Kai's just gonna look to Keth, be like, "Can I have a wine?"
Sure.
Just kind of
Head off a little bit from the group. Still within seeing distance, but
Hopefully the rain will.
dampen your conversation.
Everybody leave
I don't
the
care
table.
what anyone's saying. Yeah.
We can't. We don't know what those two will do if they're left alone. We know what we'll do if there's someone else in the fucking cabin.
There at the time, so.
I wanted to give you some time. But anything you want to say to me,
You're afraid I was gonna hit you, aren't you?
you still might.
I'm not. I understand why. I do understand why you didn't want to say anything, because. But when you found out why I was running, that's when I was scared of. Does anybody know you're here? Will my proximity to you blow my cover? But I get why you did it.
It was never my intention to bring any extra danger. I won't lie. I'm bad news.
Me too. So, I guess we're gonna be fine on that end, but. And that's a relative term anyway. Is anybody really bad news? Situations in life. Does anyone know you're here?
Not that I'm aware of, other than Stoneforge. It is only a matter of time.
That's what worries me. I can't imagine that I can't imagine your grandmother would be too happy if she found you, and I'm sure she'd turn me right over to my people.
I can't speak for my grandmother, but of what you've told me of where you come from, that's not what she stands for. My grandmother is kind, but not nice.
That's not as comforting as you think it is, but, I get it. I do. But you don't understand the level of manipulation of my people. And I'm afraid that my father could easily manipulate your grandmother into thinking that turning me over, and that's a fear, yeah, but I don't want to go back to Devenia.
No one will force you to go anywhere.
I'm not upset about it, but can we just make a deal that if anyone knows you're here, you tell me? We need to keep each other in the loop. Because it's not even just dangerous to me, it's dangerous to everyone we're traveling with.
You're right.
It puts the three of them in the line of fire.
I'm impulsive. I make rash decisions, no thinking of the consequences.
That's true, you do.
I'd be lying if I said I regretted getting on that boat.
I don't regret it either. We just have to be really careful with this. We have to be careful. Because as much as your presence could alert them to me, my presence could alert them to you as well.
I don't mean to sound blunt.
Since when?
Fair. But I did not mean to deceive you. But I won't lie. I was being selfish when I first got on that boat.
How selfish.
For some reason, I could tell there was something about you beyond what my eyes could see. I thought you were the reason my vision stopped. But since meeting you, I just realized vision showed me exactly what I needed. I know who I am means ultimately we can be together. But I just want you to know I do care for you.
I care for you too, guy. Even if we can't be together, we can at least be friends.
Just got friend zoned.
But maybe.
As
If things work out the way we want them to, maybe they can.
As he listens to her, he looks as his sleeve goes up and there's a small new tattoo on his other arm.
What is that?
we can be together not because of my family. I made a deal And I know where my path is headed. You don't want to go.
Where is that path heading?
No quiet. No peace. This may be a speed bump on your journey away, but this is just my first stop.
Where's your destination?
I don't know. I may never know.
That's awful, Kai.
Like I said, I make impulsive decisions without thinking of the long-term consequences. I just want you to know, I don't regret anything.
I don't regret it either.
Thank you.
I wish that it didn't have to be this way. I understand.
It looks like he's gonna lean in, but then he turns around.
It's just a dick move.
And Catherine's just like, well, damn.
Just got swerved.
Nick
I mean,
looks
she
up at
she
you
did
like,
say they have to be friends.
Nick's
She did say they just have to be friends, though.
I go in for a kiss and then
Because Kai is trying to fight his impulsiveness.
he's trying to be romantic.
And Catherine would reach out and go, hey, Kai, just because we're friends doesn't mean that has to stop. Get over it, okay? We're going to be traveling together for a while.
He just
I don't-
smiles over his shoulder.
Roll a red die for arousal.
for blood flow.
Blood flow.
What's Eldon doing?
What?
He's like a
We're
lost
also processing that.
Yeah, I know. Like
Our characters didn't hear, but we did.
nothing cool like that. He's patching himself up.
Theratrix has been quiet this whole time. Kind of just stoically, almost like just a loyal dog that would normally not be able to speak, is just sitting beside you. Saying nothing.
What's that, boy? You don't like dying?
As he's patching himself up with whatever he's got. You're so quiet there, Trix. No questions today?
No. No questions today.
Like lean over and like almost pick him up like a cat. He's like just kind of like look into his eyes.
When you look into Theratrix's eyes,
Oh no.
you can see it's like looking into a galaxy in there. Like it's black, but you almost have to look away because for a moment, like you're gonna say something, but then when you look directly into his eyes, and his eyes don't shift, they don't do that thing our eyes do where they are processing. It is this darkness, and yet you can see colors beyond and little speckles. It's like something you can't process. It's not intentional, he's just there, but it's intense.
Okay. Something I have to look away from.
Looking directly into his eyes, you find it hard to focus on what you're trying to communicate.
He's gonna like pick a
Yeah.
point. He's gonna do that like when you're talking to somebody and you like look between.
Right.
He's gonna look and he's just gonna hold him up. See. What's wrong?
I don't know how to explain, but I feel like I am missing. Something is incomplete. And when the creature snapped its jaws around me, I felt this pain, and then I was floating in this void. And there was a sensation of being fragmented, of being present and yet distant. And this yearning for something. And still there was a tether pulling me towards something unseen, just echoes of familiarity in the void. And I heard a name being called out.
What was that name?
Pyrothorin.
I'll ask for the spelling about that after.
The name doesn't mean anything to you in this
Yeah, I was
moment.
going to ask if that was going to be something that I knew. Pyathorin?
Pyrothorin.
Pyrothorin.
It carried with it a sense of possibility. I cannot describe, but I don't know how long I was there, and I was being pulled, and then I was here. And the feeling went away, but lingers.
When you're wherever that void is, do you still feel incomplete, as you say you do now?
Yes, even stronger. But like that missing piece is there with me, and I just need to find it. We need to find it.
We do. Next time when we get to the city, I'll send a message to Master Andrax with the Keepers, and I'll ask about that name. Maybe he can find some information, or maybe he knows something that I don't. I was an initiate. So, that name doesn't mean anything to me, but maybe it means something to him. And maybe he can guide us to however to find this piece of you.
It pains me to be away from you in the void, but I also am pained to be here.
We are connected in many ways. When you were eaten, I suppose, by that monster, I felt it. I felt the pain. Like a squeezing in my chest. But when you're not here, I feel incomplete. Like a piece of me is missing. So, I understand. But I want to make you whole. And maybe that will help me whole.
If I am incomplete, then so are you. That much I know.
Pyrotherum. Pyrotheron?
Pyrathoran.
Pyrotheron. Yeah, he's gonna like pull out his little book and write that down.
He just curls up
Yeah. He's gonna like just
and
Yeah.
stays quiet. Anything else Ayla is going to do?
Is our rest almost over?
It's coming to a close. Or the hour is.
Everybody's. Once I see everyone's gathering up to go, I will stand up and just look again at the. It's a necklace, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the necklace in my hand. And just back at the fairy ring. And I'm assuming you're still next to me. Or near me. Or are you
I
still
think I
puking?
moved a little bit away from you because I was puking. But I think seeing
you would have been hit. You would have been hit with a backsplash.
catching some movement from you in my periphery, I am now paying attention to you.
Yeah, I just
Making
stand
sure
up
you're
to.
not doing anything weird.
I guess I just start talking as if you were right there, anyways. Just. It is. Funny. Irony. I do not know. Right there is what I have wanted for nearly my entire life. I can walk right into that. Right now.
I go and stand, move so that I'm sitting between her and it.
You're like a football running back, just ready to go.
Besides my terrifying and imposing presence, what is stopping you from doing that right now?
I suppose I have stood my ground, made a decision that feels right. I suppose for now it is, we'll put it on, it is time to move on and get back to work, saving the world, or whatever we are supposed to be doing.
Yeah, saving the world or whatever.
So
Looks really nice on you.
this is the Starlight's Tear. I can't open it in another thing, but that's what it looks like.
I want it.
Yeah, that looks nothing like this.
I just hear the Titanic theme, even though I know it's not the heart of the ocean. I hear that theme in my head.
It's really pretty.
I guess as we start walking away, I take one last look back at the ring, and then I put my tail around her, cause it's like an arm. And we, dude, if you got a tail, you're gonna use it for so many things.
Oh, so many things.
So as you
and you just
begin walking, all of you suddenly like look up as you see that and hear that loud noise of that fluttering of wings when a whole flock of birds are like taking off into the sky because something has spooked them.
That's not good.
And you all kind of look around where you're at, and you need somebody to roll me a D100.
It's you roll.
Yeah.
the
have to do
highest.
it.
Yeah,
have
you
to
have
do
to do
it.
it. You rolled a
You have to do
17.
it.
Hold on, or did you want the?
Do you want
or
one of
do
the
you
big
want
ones?
one of these?
There's a big hefty.
Whichever one.
This is the heavy. Well, you know, I'll
don't
give you
roll
both.
it on here.
Yes, you can't roll it on there.
No, absolutely not. God, that weighs a damn ton. I'm
Yeah,
afraid I'm
that's
gonna
a
like go
solid
through
one.
the table on that one. 87?
That's high. That's high.
I mean, we don't know what
Yeah,
that
It's not a
means.
one.
Could
It's
be
not
good,
a
it could
one.
be bad.
87
We
It's so
monsters
funny
in
how
the
fast
sky.
after holding
You
back.
all look around. You see like the birds fly up and out of sight, and so you're kind of looking around, and
And we all posed like Power Rangers.
sure,
Like if we just
you're the
Is this the
you're the ones
Avengers
that
moment where the
choose
camera
that.
pans around us?
Iolite, you're the first one to notice that as you look around, you look back. And the fairy ring is not there anymore. And then you look where you were sitting, and there's no rock there that you were sitting on.
Did we fall in?
And you all look around, and you... Not that you memorized where you were, but all of the landscape of where you had been standing is gone, and you are somewhere else. It is still the jungle. Nothing strange, no crazy colors and blues and purples and strange animals flying around. And then... Who's got a high passive, like...
I think mine's pretty high.
I think it's
Insight.
Too. Oh, passive insight.
Passive insight.
or intelligence?
Mine's 13.
17 passive.
Oh,
insight?
Kethra. Faux show. You recall your conversation with Luna as you were looking around, and when you asked him, you know, why, or maybe it was Ayla who asked, like, so the portal changes, and you've asked this question multiple times, and you kept getting the same answer, so the portal changes where it is, and the people say, no, you change where you are. And you realize that you are probably somewhere else on the island right now.
Fantastic.
And I need somebody to flip a coin.
Call whippy heads, not occultist tails. Oop, that doesn't
Count.
Way to go.
I heard it. I think
I have one
my
too.
foot
We need
too.
one.
Oh my god.
Oh shit, I dropped mine too.
That is heads.
Okay.
We've been transported into the sun.
Which one?
Yeah.
Okay. You all realize that you are not where you were.
Shit.
What are you doing?
Does anyone know where we are?
It's the jungle.
In the middle of the damn jungle. Do you think we know where we are right now?
Are there any paths anywhere nearby? Or are we literally just in...
You are just...
Are we still in a clearing, at least?
No,
Are there
well, sort of. It's not the same type of clearing. Like, when you all looked up, through, and then looked back down.
Is there a climbable tree?
Yes, I mean, there are trees, everywhere. That you can finagle your way.
I'm gonna climb a tree.
Okay. Let's roll an athletics. You're jack of all trades, right?
Yep.
Very quickly, I'm gonna turn down that air.
He's like, God, I gotta pee.
I don't have anything useful, do I?
I must have made 15 Dr. Peppers.
I knew you were gonna say that. I was like, I knew he was gonna say that.
It's
not like I married you or
16 athletics.
So you climb up to this tree. You're like grabbing the branches and pulling on vines and getting yourself up. You get to the top of it, but jungle trees are really, really thick. So you're trying, at the best right now, you can kind of make a perception check. Everything that you see around you is just more trees, because there's some that are tall, some that are short, some that are the same as you in height.
17.
You do something that people, recommend you not do, but in this moment you need to do it. And you are taking a look and trying to figure out through the clouds where you can maybe see the light from the sun's at its brightest, to figure out where it is in relation to where where they are. And you can kind of see them. Let me think about where you were. They are mostly in like the same... They're in mostly the same spot. You're not kind of turned around you had been going west, they're still like going.
I
They're still in
can't
the same
see
spot.
Yamari, Mountain.
You can see Yamari just barely. I'll say with 70. You can see familiar terrain in the distance that when you're looking, you're like, okay, Yamari is to the northwest. You can see it just off.
But that would be a landmark. That would give me a sense of direction from where we are to where we were to where we are.
You know you were headed west. Kind of taking a look around, you may be further in than where you thought. You're in a thicker area of the jungle as well. So like where you had started and followed Melpomene, it's kind of still pretty thick, but not as dense as out in the Sleeping Wilds. Like you are out in the Sleeping Wilds to the west. Further in.
Scuttle back down the tree. I believe we are deeper in the Sleeping Wilds now. Not necessarily
Excellent.
the place we want to be at the moment.
Oh, perfect.
Do we know the way back?
It is hard to say. Do not know the exact location, I suppose. We went west. We could go east and hope we head back in the same general direction.
The Mountain Yamari is over by Balstead, right? Or is it Mosswick is on the other side, and then you
Yeah.
have Balstead, which is
Yamari is to the west, and Mosswick is to the east.
okay. Just for clarification, just asking.
I guess regardless, we have to go east.
And the good news, eventually we'll hit water no matter what direction we go.
That is true. It may
problem-
be a cliffside, it could be a beach.
Problem is, whatever else we find in here.
Indeed.
All right, let's stay sharp.
Try to
With
stay.
that, Kai will summon the sword, but what's normally looks like a rapier, as he summons it out of the air, now has a much longer T-shaped handle with a thicker blade. It looks like a two-handed longsword.
Ooh. You gotta go. Ooh.
That's new.
All right.
Try to travel quietly, perhaps, if we can. Try not to attract too much attention of anything that's out here.
I am sure whatever is out here will find us, regardless.
Let's put that off for as long as we can.
We don't know where we are, so we shouldn't take too long. We don't know how much time before nightfall.
And I have a show to do. So, let us get going.
All right. You head to the east.
Gonna show up to your show looking like shit. Brambles everywhere.
So you head into the jungle. You do have to kind of hack and slash. Luckily, you have machetes from your time with Kaelin. Hacking through, I need somebody to roll me a d20.
It's my turn.
See what fun
12.
things you come up with. All right, a 12. I feel like that one is a pretty good one.
She didn't say for us. She just said in general that could be for her.
No, you continue through, hacking through. There are moments where like you all stop for a moment just to see if anything kind of follows. But you travel good first hour, you're good. Second hour, still all is quiet. There are moments where you feel like you hear the sound, those kind of like familiar sounds of those pigs, like the snorting off in the distance, and you just get quiet for a little bit and it passes. Just need one more d20.
Cuba, do you want? Oh, I keep forgetting about the eyeball.
Ooh, that's a 2. know. We just summoned the. Now we hear the smoke monster from Lost. Typewriters in the forest.
Polar bear.
As you're working through the greenery, I need you to roll a d6. Somebody to roll a d6.
Not her.
Is it her? Or
I
is it
don't.
me because
Whoever
I fucked
wants
us?
to. I just
We made
I
up
just
these
need the
rules.
number.
You know what? You committed the crime. You rule it.
Do
Yeah.
the time.
Don't put this on her.
5.
This isn't her fault. You sit in it.
Just put your nose in there.
So, traipsing through, I mean, there's only so quiet you can be when you're trying to cut through thick jungle and hacking with your machetes.
Yeah, we'll make 1 mile in every 5 hours. This is going like this.
And probably like near the almost the end of like your 3rd hour, as you're looking up and you're like, oh my god, are we gonna make it here? You hear this rustling in a bush nearby, followed immediately by a squeal. A very familiar squeal that I can't do.
No.
As there you go. Out of the jungle, one, then you hear another one, you hear another, and you find yourself surrounded, although you can't see all of them, by what you imagine to be those nasty mama boars. And I'm going to need everybody to roll initiative.
Damn,
I'm so glad we took a short rest.
Yeah.
Short rest.
Probably would have to come trees.
All right, so as you traipsed through the jungle, suddenly a familiar, horrifying squeal erupted from behind you all. As one,
Oh boy.
two,
Oh boy.
Fuck.
It's the mommies,
yes, the big ones,
not the babies.
come running out of the jungle with a third coming out this way. These are all boars, not the creatures that they look to be. And I need to know your initiative. Hold on. Well, that. Oh, okay. I thought that was an at 1. 0 to 5. Nice.
Nice.
Wow.
This is good.
5 to 10.
9.
8.
Could be better, but still, it's not bad.
I'm right there with you.
You guys are close to double digits.
Hold on. 10 to 15.
13.
14.
All right, we got Kai at 13, Iolite at 14.
Mm-hmm.
17.
And
17.
17.
Would have been a 19 if it wasn't that pesky -2 that I got.
Okay, you hear the horrifying squeal, which I cannot play because my audio is not connected to my computer. She said angrily. Yeah.
We need
And
one. We need one more.
Eldon.
We need one more because there's 3. There we go. Nailed it.
As busting through the jungles, the first thing that you notice when you do see these creatures is like the first time you saw them, they were horrifying. You were terrified. The second time, it was gross, and they busted open and little babies came out. This time, they look even more blackened and withered, but there's a like open kind of skin, and you can see there's muscle underneath, but it's not like red muscle. There's like a blackening, a darkening, there's more oozing. It's like they're continuing to morph as time has gone on, as the days have ticked by. And I'm not gonna have you do resolve rolls because you've seen them before, but they look even less like the large boars, which there were no large boars before on this. There were only the little ones. The tentacles are not like pink, but like black and purple and like dark blues. They're just like very much turning into something else. And at the top of the round, we have Eldon.
Eldon is going to pull a broadhead arrow for the D6. I'll cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
What did I call it? Keeper's Eye is what he calls it.
Mm-hmm.
For another D6 on the one that's right in front of him. What is that, 10 feet? That's not D6. And he's going to, as Theratrix's reaction, imbue fire damage into his arrow.
Okay.
So, can I borrow D6? I'll grab more. Actually,
You want this fiery D6?
Yep, fiery D6. So, what am I rolling 2 for? Oh, where are they? Oh, that misses. That first one misses. That was a 7 minus 2. And he'll try it again.
Okay.
That was... I'm gonna call out a 17 because that's 10, right? Yeah.
27?
17 plus bunch.
Okay. That hits.
Okay. The other one was actually, I said it before, but it's a reaction, so I can do it as a hit.
What is
Right?
it?
Theratrix, when I said it before, because I forgot I had to roll. You know what I mean? For the fucking hit. So, I said it for the first, but can I apply that to the second shot?
Yeah, I'll say that's fine.
Alright. So that's... Hunter's Mark.
Is it Theratrix's reaction or yours?
It's Theratrix's reaction,
Okay,
but
just for my mind.
I went to go roll the damage dice before I actually picked up the D20s, and then I picked up 2 D20s for some damn reason.
It's fine.
D8. It's 5 plus 6 is 11, plus 12 is, plus 2 is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 points of damage. The one that you let me borrow
Don't
was,
forget to add your
was
modifier.
6 of that was fire damage. So what did I say that was? I'm so sorry. Did I say that was 16?
17.
17 plus 5. 22 total. 6 of that was fire damage. Sorry that was all jumbled. I'm like all sorts of out of fucking
All right,
sorts
22.
using our regular characters. And he's going to book it between backwards between Iolite and Ayla.
Okay. Oh,
Theratrix is going to follow him after that.
Okay.
He takes his turn immediately after mine, so...
are you going to be in front or behind?
Like,
back
behind,
here.
but between, yeah.
All right.
And Theratrix on his turn will move with me. In front of me, but next to Iolite, exactly.
Right here?
Yeah, that's fine too. Sure.
Okay. All right.
Felt
Next
so
up,
weird to, like, play him.
we have the monsters. So
Oh, boy.
as the arrow streaks across and like thunks into that, the mama boar lets out this squeal. All the tentacles are like, they almost like elongate as they're flapping around. Coming out of the mouth, you see another one that kind of like shoots out and pushes the arrow out, and then it starts coming out from the body. And we have...
That's gruesome.
They can go... Alright. So this one is going to charge straight towards Kethra. It's actually going to just barrel over Nyx. To hit.
Insulting.
I'm just going to push Nyx back because it is going to be exactly where Nyx was, and they're going
Run,
to
Nyx.
charge into you and attempt to do a charge attack on you, Kethra. I am going to say that it's going to do some damage to Nyx going over it.
No.
Nyx takes 7 points.
Nyx
that
is
might actually
gone.
kill him.
Yeah, Nyx only has like 2 hit points.
Oh.
Is this the first time that's happened?
Yes.
No.
You turn and look, and you saw all of these coming, and it just tramples forward. You know what? I'll let you have Nyx do a dexterity save. See if he can get out of the way.
Trying to find my stuff.
He's a cat. He would have cat-like
it's in the-
reflexes.
It's in the thing.
we'll say
I gotta
it
find this thing,
is
'cause I don't know where
because
this thing
he has.
Yeah, I just gotta find him.
It's coming out of nowhere. We'll go with a 14. DC 14.
Natural 20.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alright, Nick's like, you.
Can he run off into my bag in the woods somewhere, please? Because, like, that was
Very
scary.
far away.
Just like
I just promised him he
cat
wouldn't have to go
parkour.
back.
cat parkour.
So where do you
off
want him to go? Is he going to jump into your bag?
He's gonna, like, jump into my bag and
Okay.
just... As I
Jumps
probably left
into
my
your
bag,
bag.
probably, like, in the woods or something, like, in the corner over there. Probably, like,
Okay, you
somewhere
like
in
kind
the corner.
of dropped it.
Yeah, I kind of dropped it as his little...
Alright,
His little
so he's
egress,
off. We'll
shall
just
we
say he's
say.
off in your bag.
Poor Nick. It's okay, Nick. It's
But
okay,
for
buddy.
you, it is going to.
I don't even care how much it hits me.
As long as the
As long as Nick's
okay.
is cool. I'm cat momming.
Alright, it's going to make an attack against you. 10. Which does not hit as you are able to push yourself out of the way. It only gets the one hit. This one is going to charge at Kai. And then 40 feet.
Can't up to 8, right?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I've got this one. No, you know what? I am going to use. Alright, we got 5. Come on, son of a bitch.
Thank God.
So this other one is going to charge around towards you, Iolite. It can't quite make it, but it's going to keep going using its dash. Oh no, it's not. It's going to run there. Because it doesn't need to make it to you.
It doesn't.
To be able to attack you.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So first we've got
Oh no.
an attack against Kai.
We almost lost Nick. It's okay.
Nick's is still.
We almost lost him.
Oh, jeez. He's got to stay in your bag.
He ran into the bag.
And actually this one
over
gets
here now.
advantage on the one against Kai because its partner is right there next to it.
Its partner? Wait,
It
they have
gets
significant
pack
others?
tactics.
Oh, I thought they were married.
22 to hit.
I thought they were.
Yep, that hits.
You can't shield
Alright.
it.
It
You
only raises my AC to 20.
you take 3. It is
Emotional support.
11
Sour Patch.
points of slashing damage from the tusk.
Oh, boy.
And then because it charged
No,
at
thank
you, you take an additional 8 points of slashing
No, you don't.
damage.
No, you don't.
And I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Oh, boy. Don't let her tell you what to do.
Quiet you. It'll only anger her.
Stand up to her. Tell her you're not the boss of me.
15.
15 is what you needed.
Oh, yes! Meets it, beats it!
So you like get bashed by this creature and like you push yourself away without falling, and as you do you can feel like this sticky substance that's coming off from having touched the skin, and like you pull away and it's like it tears back and rips off of it. Iolite, an attack again. That one of the tentacles, one of those black and blue tentacles, comes flying out from 10 feet away. That's a natural 20.
I am going to use my reaction to do silvery barbs. So it has to re-roll that.
Thanks, babe.
It's not a natural 20. It is a 16. It has a 16.
That does hit, but it's not a crit.
Hey, 16
Okay.
with the tentacle as it comes out and hits you for
Okay.
3 points of bludgeoning damage. And as the tentacle like hits your body, you take an additional 6 points of acid damage. You see it like kind of.
I'm gonna give you the advantage on your attack. Because I take silvery barbs, it has to re-roll. It's like I magically distract it and like make it kind of miss or whatever, but then I take... How's this worded? You choose a different creature that you can see within range. You choose a creature that has advantage on the next attack roll, ability check, saving throw for 1 minute. So it's like
Ooh.
I take its attack and then kind of give the power to someone
Oh,
else.
thank
So-
you.
That's the spell.
Yes, Silvery Barbs is banned at many tables.
Is it?
It is an overpowered first level spell.
It is.
Does it have to be an attack on the creature that attacked me?
No.
Can
No,
it be any?
no.
Anything.
Any attack, saving roll, or
And
saving throw. Ability check, saving throw.
Okay.
Iolite, you also feel as the tentacle wraps around your body, you are also grappled.
Oh,
Ooh,
So
damn.
I don't like this.
I will find it eventually. All right, we now have your turn.
Me turn?
Yes.
Okay. Can I hit it when I'm grappled?
Yes.
Can it, or do I
your
use my
speed
action?
Your speed is 0.
Okay. But then if I try to break grapple, that's an action.
That's an
right?
action. Yes.
Okay. I think first, before I try to get away from it, I'm going to piss it off, and I'm going to pull out my quarterstaff, and I'm going to shillelagh it as my bonus action.
Okay.
Oh, what's my fucking shillelagh?
So I think shillelagh is the casting of it.
Yeah, it's a bonus action to like activate it, and then
Yeah, so
you
you
use your
activate
Oh,
action.
and then the
Shillelagh.
action is the hitting. Oh. But then, so
Get
then
the
I can't
fuck
try
outta
to get
here.
away.
You can still.
my island.
You can still bonus action activate shillelagh, so you have it. If you
Oh.
didn't have a plan for a bonus action,
No,
it's like you're
yeah.
casting the spell on your thing, and then you can hit.
Oh, okay.
Is shillelagh a leveled spell or is that a cantrip?
It's a cantrip.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll activate it and then try to break the
We're gonna
grapple,
try
I
to break the
guess.
grapple.
Yeah.
All right.
Natural
So you can roll your athletics or
You have 1 minute where you can use the advantage. So
Oh,
you can
yeah,
use it
I
for
can
here, or
use
you
it for
can
this.
save it.
Okay. What'd you say, athletics?
this is athletics or acrobatics for you.
I'm gonna use that silvery barbs. It's the exact same fucking number. That's a 13.
Minus.
Actually, it's a 12 because it's -1.
It was a DC 11. So you break your grapple
Nice.
as you like smash the shillelagh down on the tentacle, and that like radiance from the magic causes it to unwrap, and it pulls back, and it does that horrible squeal at you.
Phew.
What you doing?
Getting away.
Okay. So technically, this is a rock.
Oh.
So you can't go through.
I have to pay attention to what's on the screen.
Oh,
I thought it was just.
You guys are kind of up against this rock, so you can. I would
this
say.
is a rock here. And
Yeah, I would say you
okay.
can climb up on this. We'll say that this one isn't too high. This is very much high, but it's going to be rough terrain to go. So you can go.
So I could go like.
So 30 feet would be where you are. You can get like right about.
I'm also very good at climbing on rocks.
Just
I think it's a feature or
Bounce
something.
into the rock.
But as you leave its range, it is going to take an attack of opportunity on you, and it does get advantage because its friend is right next to it.
Okay.
That's a natural 20.
I'm gonna silvery barbs myself.
You have it. You're gonna do it.
Oh,
All right.
Holy shit.
I forgot
okay.
that you.
I took
you
it.
Love that spell.
Except now it's gone now, so I can't use it again.
That is a 13 to hit.
It meets it, beats it.
Yes. All
At
right.
least it's not a crit. Not a crit.
Not a crit. Not a crit.
So the tentacle comes out towards you for 6 more points of bludgeoning damage and 3 points of acid damage. As you back away, just makes that noise.
I'm gonna throw the advantage to you that I got from mine.
Oh, wait.
Because that's
Okay.
fairsy squaresies. And you're going soon.
Let's see. Can we still see you? We can. All right. Next up, we have Kai.
All right. Kai, the one that just took a bite at it, he's gonna go two-handed with his longsword, newly summoned longsword. Actually, no. You know what? just before he does that, he's going to hold the end of the blade, and that same dark energy that normally, as he goes to cast Eldritch Blast, goes in, through, and up the blade. He's casting Booming Blade.
Okay.
And we're going to use this, like, right now.
Oh, right.
You feel yourself, like, as you do that, and you go to swing, and it's almost like you can feel that whisper that you can't understand, but you understand in this moment as you hear, no, now.
That's 23 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
Okay, so, and as I do this, I'm going to expend a spell slot.
Which is a big deal for you because you only have like 2.
And I will
Something
pump
important.
an Eldritch Smite into this.
Okay.
So I get, okay, let's start with the weapon damage. So that's 6 points of slashing damage plus I get 1 excuse me, I think, is it a D10 or a D8? A D8, sorry. I get 1 D8 of 2 points of thunder damage. And then for Eldritch Smite, it's 1 D10 per spell level slot plus 1 more. So I'm a warlock, so that's a 3rd level spell slate, so that's 4 D10 of force damage. So I got 9, 10, 18, 23 points of force damage, and if it is... Where are you? Eldritch Smite, if it is huge or smaller, it is knocked prone. No
Wow.
saving throw.
It's knocked prone anyway.
It's gone.
Because as you do that, describe the
So
the death blow.
So the normal, the dark energy that looks like Kai's Eldritch Blast is like emanating from the blade, and as he hits it, it's also as though from outside of the sword, there's extra force damage, almost like ripping a black hole as it hits into the pig beast.
Right. This boar, like being torn in half, hits the ground. It lets out this horrible squeal that's like muffled by the tentacles. Well, this is still on it, I guess, technically. Muffled by the tentacles on its like filling its mouth. And as you cut through, I am gonna have you roll. Let's roll a D100. Why not?
How many piggies come out?
Oh, right. The piggies.
Well, I'm gonna see something else.
57.
57 piggies.
When you cut into it, it falls open and like almost splays open, and you can see all these little wriggling things in there, but they weren't quite ready yet. And so you just like cut it, and then it squeals this loud that like echoes off of the stone behind you. But as you're looking at it, there's all these strange piglets that we're working on it. He was working on it, and they start
need a big
writhing out.
piglet.
and-
Dun, 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 dun.
Like
Underdeveloped
fetuses.
fetal-
Yeah.
Still need
Little
to,
pigs.
It's my body.
still need to bake a little bit.
But when it squeals, the other two squeal at the same time, and then you hear a fourth one coming from somewhere. Shit. All right. Anything else? You moving?
First, Kai is going to bonus action take a healing, common healing potion.
Okay.
Oh, max healing. That's
Nice.
awesome.
Oh, nice.
I'll take that.
You guys like harmonize that.
Nice.
Don't these guys remind you of the monsters in Tremors 2? The graboids when they get smaller and have legs, right? Like that's what they totally remind me of. Especially when you said like when that one squealed, these two squealed, because in the
I
movie,
saw
like when the one dies, they're
as
like.
Iolite was running, it has a longer reach, correct?
The tentacles, yes,
I will stay where I am.
but mechanically, it's already used its reaction.
Oh yeah, that's right, because it tried to attack Iolite. In that case, I'm going to get about halfway.
Okay. All right. Nope, that was Kai. Kethra. I know the camera's in your way. Let me move it.
It's good. I am going to cast Call Lightning on this fucker right here.
Okay.
And as my bonus action, I'm going to turn and wild shape into a bear because this fucker just ran over Nyx. You are going to get it at this point.
You gotta replace the bear monster with something else.
I got another bear. All right, so call lightning.
Because it's storming out, correct?
Yes,
That gives
it
me
is.
one
It's-
extra d10
it
of
is
damage.
Oh, that's cool.
Dexterity saving.
Now it is lost because it's full of bear.
You're gonna roll the damage. Izzy has
Yeah,
to
I
roll
know.
the save.
I know. Alright, so. Perfect, yes. So, dexterity thing for 15, so. It's gotta wait.
All right, so a dex save on my end for the lightning.
Yes.
4d10.
Dex save. That is a 9.
15, so I win.
Nice.
Hey, I win.
Alright.
Nice.
Ooh.
Whoa.
I see 2 zeros.
Nine, that's a, is that
That's
a,
a
that's a
9.
9 and a 7.
Yeah, so
Hell
26.
yeah.
36 points of damage
Nice.
on
Good job.
the boar. No, on the bear boar. Sorry,
Bear boar.
bear boar. All right, lightning. That's the one that comes from the sky. So
Yes.
you just see the swirl of clouds get a little bit darker just above, and then cracks down.
Eldon's like, what the fuck?
Sorry, Eldon. Yeah, you, Ayla, Theratrix.
We're just looking at the thing.
You feel the that ozone and then the electricity.
Everyone's hair
His,
stands up.
his spiky hair is actually extra spiky, you know?
All right, and so that was your action, bonus action.
Yes,
and
I'm
you're
good.
good. Okay,
That one's gonna get
Ayla, you are last up as you hear the familiar sound of Kethra transforming herself into a bear, and your hair is kind of coming back to rest,
And you have advantage.
Alright.
and you have
Choose to
advantage.
use it.
I am going to cast Bless on everybody.
Okay.
Alright, sucks about going last, but we know there's another one out there.
On everyone, so all 4 of you, or just three, and
hold
you're
on.
missing yourself.
I think I'm not doing myself.
Oh, sorry, there's 5 of you, not 4.
Let's see.
Depends on the level that you're doing.
Yeah, Bless 3. Yeah, fuck me. So I'll just do everybody else. So there's done 3.
All right, we got Bless
I don't want to waste the spell level.
on the bear.
Thank you.
Blessed be the bear. Blessed. We're gonna put
Why did that
in
tickle me
like
like
that?
that? Blessed be the bear.
Okay.
And as a bonus action, I'm granting 8 temporary hit points to everybody through Mantle of Inspiration.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So it's
Goodness.
kind of inspiring.
8, you said?
Yep.
We're in the way of
Where,
me getting
which way,
to my
where do
shoe.
you want to go your full distance away?
A full distance. Actually,
Okay.
how high on this wall can I climb?
It's not that bad. If you wanted to step up next to her.
Yeah, I'm climbing up there.
Okay, so you can climb up
You
there.
don't
It's like
usually.
a couple of feet up.
There, so.
We'll say this is a wall that you can't get past, but this is only a couple feet up.
So
Do you want to go further back?
I'm gonna
You
take
can
one
take
more step
That's
back.
about as far as you can get.
I'm going as far up and against the rock face as I can, while still being able to move.
Okay. At the top of the round, you are going to see. I'm gonna roll myself a D8.
Excuse me.
No, I'm gonna roll a D4.
Pretty sure the microphone picked that up.
That's not a 4. That's a 6. Come the fuck out. So crashing through the trees from the back, further back, through here. We're gonna say this one comes barreling through. It has a speed of 40.
Oh, please run through the color. Please run through it. Runs into it though.
It's gonna go straight forward. It just barrels through. It's gonna run over all the wriggling things that are coming through, and the first thing that it's gonna hit is Theratrix.
Aww.
Don't worry, buddy. I won't let you die again.
You got your babies out here.
Poor babies.
Another part of me is missing.
I will never
And
forget that again.
it is going to. No, you know what? I did this for Nyx, so I'm gonna say it actually would be going. It doesn't give a fuck about Theratrix. It's going for you.
Can do I get an attack of opportunity?
It's gonna end right in your range. So it's gonna barrel through. I will let you let Theratrix make a dexterity save to see if it can avoid. If he can avoid.
Fly, there,
One
tricks,
plus
fly.
bonus action. Proficiency
Head for
bonus
the
is what?
hills.
What's our proficiency bonus?
3.
3? So it's plus 4. Oh shit, that's a nat 20. Nice.
Okay.
Yay!
Theratrix
Both times we
just
had to save the
out of
babies
the
with
way.
that
Wait.
20s.
Yeah.
You got a nat 22?
Right, to
Holy
save Nyx,
shit.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah.
Save our
dice-
behinds
The
today.
gods smile upon the babies.
The dice gods say familiars and companions
Yes.
shall
Babies are
not
saved.
lose today.
Not
Yeah.
today. Yeah, these things don't care about these little morsels. They're going after you. So the tusk attack against you with advantage.
The other one isn't close enough.
No,
Is
it's not. Well, technically, it is because we're doing this. That is a 20.
Certainly hits.
Silvery barbs.
Very
No,
bad.
I'm just kidding.
You take. I don't know why I keep putting these away like I'm not using them. I do this every single time.
Burning through spell slots fast, so otherwise I would,
That,
but gotta strategically
you
plan
got-
this.
I got one left, guys. I got
You
one
got-
spell slot. That's it.
16 points of slashing damage. Sorry, nope, I lied.
As many
20.
as one level spell slots I have.
And it's a charge attack. Ooh, and then.
Fey touched. You get one free
One
use,
free-
but
oh,
then
yeah,
you
one
can
free
use
one.
spell slots to cast
Yeah,
that.
how'd this happen?
Oh.
It gives you access to the spell.
So, sorry.
Alright. Interesting.
A total of 34 points of slashing
What?
damage as the tusks.
Oh shit.
I mean,
Yeah,
this is
might
on
get
brand
serious
for
here.
him. I mean,
They
really.
go after Eldon pretty hard.
Rangers seem at our table to
Yeah.
take some beatings.
I miss playing Ark.
Uh,
Ark wanted to just like headbutt this thing into death.
You like take it like these tusks that are almost lost in the tentacles of its mouth. It kind of like spreads the tentacles apart, and you can see these bony, blackened, reddish tusks that just kind of bore into you, and you feel the air leaving your stomach. And I also need you to make a
Was it a
strength
dex?
saving throw.
Oh, fuck. So, that's an 18 plus 4.
Okay, you're good. As you like push yourself off again, like pulling your hands away, that stickiness, but you don't fall. And
Didn't have to fall to get
That-
fucked up.
that's your. Now it's your turn.
Fuck.
Good luck.
Okay, you're blessed.
I'm blessed, but I'm also.
Blast.
So, if I'm firing a bow at one that's not within 5 feet, am I still?
Still at
I'm still
disadvantage.
disadvantaged. Fuck. First, as a bonus action, he's gonna take a common healing, the healing potion that he has,
Okay.
and then as an action, he's gonna disengage
Okay. Hide behind Mama Bear.
Yeah. Trying to see on the other side. Is there another? Oh, okay. Yeah. He's gonna go max distance that way. Sorry, Iolite.
Well, I'm up on the thingy.
Yeah. just up a
Oh,
little
you're
bit
on something?
No,
Yeah, I'm on a
the
little
Oh,
rock.
how high up are you?
Only
Not very far.
not very far. But
Oh.
you can get like right here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And then Theratrix will park himself right in front of. He'll disengage too, and he'll park himself in front of Violet, like right next to her.
Right
Just
in front or on
like
the,
like
on
right
the
next.
stone?
Well, I'm imagining him like hovering over her shoulder, so
Okay.
next to her, I guess.
All right.
Yeah, it's my turn. Didn't do shit.
You see the
Staying alive.
tentacles. No,
Yeah.
hey, staying alive. It's the monster's turn.
Yep, I'm gonna. That's 2
Monster.
4.
So definitely steps forward. This other one is also
Did that
like
shit, though.
trying to figure out a way to get over there, so it's gonna just go ahead and engage with you to try to get through it. They want this bear.
They want the bear, don't they?
Everybody wants a piece
So
of
we
the
got
bed.
pack tactics going on, friends. As each of these, we've got not this one because its ally is not within 5 feet of it. It's going to attack the bear, so maybe not helpful for the rest of you, but no, that is a with its tentacle attack a 14 to hit.
Bear. 11, yeah, it hits.
Okay. So that is going to be, again, me putting these away. 7 points of bludgeoning damage and 1 point of acid damage. And you are large, so you are grappled by this creature.
Damn it.
Grappled and blast.
Sorry, you got him right where you want him. You can't get away now.
The other one, but next to and behind Kethra, as the bear is within 5 feet of an ally, so it does get advantage. That is a 18 on the bear.
I'll silver rebarbs that one.
Okay.
And I'll give Kethra the advantage.
Thank you.
That is higher, is a 24 to hit.
Fuck.
And
You still have that advantage.
it's going to do the tentacle attack against you. 2. Sorry. 2d6. 11 points of bludgeoning damage. 6 points of acid damage.
Damn.
And you were grappled by that one as well.
Double grapple.
So there's just these 2 large boards and you're just wrapping. Like, you've been here before, though. You've been here before.
We're on the boat.
Kinky real quick. That went kinky real quick.
Hey, she was only grappled by 1 creature, not 2. Okay.
Hey, I'm a hoe, but not that kind of hoe, okay?
It's a, hey, we got a theme going from the last time we all played together with that tentacle
Oh, God.
dice roller. Anyway.
Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah.
All I remember is the fondling the hole.
I just remember, yeah, is that why you're...
I mean, that should be the most.
I-
Is that why those
Listen, I
nails
am
were
not-
cut short?
That's not my
There you
particular
go.
kink.
See,
It's
now
just-
you're putting it into use, into daily use. Good job.
Alright, so an attack against Kai with advantage. It's a 20, not natural, to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
Well, I hope you guys like this campaign.
That is a
I mean, we can run off.
tusk attack against you for 10 points of slashing damage.
If we start running, we could probably make the show still.
You're right. The theater calls.
And that is all of them. It is now Iolite.
Okay. It's getting real here. I see Theratrix above my shoulder, and I'll reach up, and as I touch him, my starry form activates, but it's like from my fingertips down, swirls into view, and I will do the archer for him.
Okay.
And I'm going to shoot at this one that is currently grappling. Crap, how do I do that?
When you turn into starry form, I envision it like when Adora turns into She-Ra.
It's a whole ass Sailor Moon transformation.
You do it when you
We're all waiting 30, 40 seconds for the colors to go.
I will say, because you reached out to touch Theratrix, that you feel
like he's
the
taking a break
energy of the shard kind of like brighten, and the dragon constellation also lights up.
Both of them?
Yes.
At the same time?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's cool. All right.
You also feel a surge of this like power when that happens that like permeates your whole being, and you don't know what it means, but you feel powerful in this
hell yeah.
moment.
All right. All right. Well, I guess I'll take an attack roll with my arrow. That is a. That's my spell. I like forgot everything again. You know how that had +6. 16.
That hits. Yes.
Now, what? I forgot what the damage is. Oh my god, I'm sorry.
I think it's in the
8?
the
playing
feet.
Not Us for
I know.
a couple weeks now.
Yeah, I think it's in the feet itself. No?
Maybe. 1d8 plus 3.
Okay.
God. Radiant.
Not
8
bad.
points of radiant.
Okay, 8 points of radiant damage. Slam into this other. Okay.
And then I'm going to use a guiding bolt.
Okay.
Also at the same one, and I'm going to try to use my opalescent amplification, which is different now. Let me see if I can do it. I think we said the bless doesn't go towards that, right? The roll
Right,
to see
it's
if I
just
make
a
it.
straight roll to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope,
Okay.
did not work. So
you
it's
feel
charged
like
up.
there's it's charged up, basically. Yeah, there's like a light. I would say Ayla, you would see as you look over at Iolite, you can see that the area where her wound is brighter in her form, and it's almost like you can see something float, like one of the stars inside of her chest area is brighter and glowing, and as she lets loose this particular spell, it stays bright.
22 to hit.
That hits. The guiding bolt goes shooting across from up atop the rock.
10 points. Yeah. Of radiant damage.
All right. And I'm gonna have you make a con save right now. No, yeah, we're gonna make it a con save right now.
Me, right now? Okay. Bless counts for that?
Yes.
Oh. 6, 8, 9. 11?
No,
No.
we didn't make it.
No. Uh-oh.
What does the dragon do?
The dragon does...
Archer.
Well,
She's
did you miss that part?
yeah.
Oh.
Remember, it's every 7 minutes.
Gotta pee.
Oh yeah. While you were on your, while you were in your, while you were
shit. I
peeing.
missed what you was. Oh.
When I touched Theratrix, it like did something weird and it activated Dragon and Archer simultaneously. Dragon. When you make an intelligence or wisdom check or a con saving throw to maintain concentration on a spell, I can treat a roll of 9 or lower on the d20 as a 10.
You see and feel. You see the dragon constellation brighten somewhere else. So there's this there's a star somewhere in there that is glowing brighter, and then the constellation of the dragon brightens up. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. I need Theratrix to make a dexterity saving throw. Yes.
Oh no. Oh no.
Plus 3, 4. Oh. 5, 9.
21.
You just killed Theratrix.
No.
of radiant energy comes out from the dragon constellation, and you take 5 points of radiant damage, and Theratrix takes 10. Theratrix kind of
Is he
pulls
okay?
back.
He's okay. He's okay.
I am going to say he is pushed back 5 feet, though, over
Go
here.
in the bag,
away from you.
Theratrix.
I'm sorry.
And there is Eldon, from where you are, you saw this brightness, but then you feel confusion. Just
What the fuck?
especially because you had just looked at him, and then it was comes out.
It's like we're friends, right?
Yeah.
I think that knocked me down to one knee, and I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Okay, is that the end of your turn?
I'm gonna back up a little, if I have room to.
Yes.
Here.
All right. Kai.
All right. You know what? It worked so well last time. Let's do it again. Kai, inside of his hands, glow, causing the blade, and he's gonna go after the one that just attacked him there. That's 24 to hit. So, alright, let's do it like this. This is a versatile plus the first booming blade, and you know what? I got one spell slot left. Let's do it. I'm gonna pump another smite into it. Alright, so let's get the, I got 3 points of thunder damage, 9 points of slashing, 8, 12, 16, and 23 points of force damage, and it is knocked prone.
All right. It kind of falls down onto a broken hoof legs from the front, and it is prone.
And I will take my last, as a bonus action, I'll take my last healing potion.
Losing die.
Nine points of healing, almost.
All right. Are you moving, or are you staying there?
I don't know if I can risk the attack of opportunity. I think I'm gonna stay, as much as I don't want to.
All right. Kethra.
Alright. So. I'm having a total brain fart. Alright.
You can do multi-attack. Yeah, that's pretty much the bear's specialty.
Yeah.
Actually, can I take that back? Can I just take one step away? Let's just
Okay.
go for it.
As long as if you stay
I-
within 10, it won't take the attack. You're gonna risk it.
I'll
There's
risk
two.
it.
There's two there.
Oh,
There's two.
I thought that the other one, I wasn't in that one's range. I thought I was only in one of
It's a
those.
10-foot range.
All right. Well then. All right, that changes things.
Going back to where you were.
Why don't I? If I go right up to Kethra, am I still in the white
Still
ones?
within this one, but
Out of that one, I'm gonna go
I
out
think.
of one of
Let me
there.
see.
Yeah.
You might actually still be in that one's range. Hold on. You're technically still in that one's range if you stay next to Kethra.
You're gonna have to like go
You're gonna
around
have to
this
move.
way,
Well,
so you'll only take attack.
You could
from one of
like
them.
kind of go around back here.
yeah. Why don't we do that?
I'm behind me now.
Not really, because
And
it.
kind of squeeze in between your friend, the bear. My friend, the bear.
All right. I'll risk the attack.
Yeah, that's a 22. 22.
All right.
And that is a tusk attack. Goes towards you for 14 points
Yikes.
of slashing damage.
Oh, I have temporary hit points. I should have been using these.
Yeah, you all have 8 temporary hit points.
Not anymore.
Don't waste them.
I don't. Not anymore.
Okay, Kethra.
All right, so I'm still
Grappled. It just means you can't move.
Oh, that guiding bolt gave somebody advantage.
It's
Is it too late? Is it okay?
so it was
'Cause
against
you did-
this one.
Yeah.
So guiding bolt, it's whoever takes the next attack against
Yes.
it. It
So no one's
has
attacked it yet.
advantage.
I
Okay.
think
Right.
Kethra has advantage from one of the silvery
Yes.
barbs.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
so you have advantage on this,
Super advantage.
right. So I
depending
I
on which one you
can't
want to attack.
move,
Yes, you
but I
can.
can still attack. Correct.
Yes,
All
yes.
right.
Mhm.
So can I attack this one?
Mhm.
And we're just gonna go straight. I don't want to bite this thing, but that doesn't look like she got a choice. All right, she's just gonna go in and just bite it at the neck and just shake, and then just come with a claw across him.
All right. Roll for attack with advantage.
Advantages. Thank you.
2d20, keep the highest.
Highest is 15 plus 3
All right, that hits.
Plus your
plus
the bear.
plus the bear. Sorry.
It's right here.
Plus 1d.
6 to hit.
Plus 6, so I got, what was it?
18 plus
18 plus 6, so 24.
To hit?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Which is for the bite. So 1d8 plus 4.
1d8. Where did my d8 go? I lost it.
So the bear gets 1d8 plus 4,
1.
So 5.
And then
5 points of damage.
And then for claws, it is 2d6 plus 4.
So you roll
Hold on 1 second.
to-
Nope, that's all you need. So for that first one right here, this one you're attacking.
You went after my baby. I hope you die well.
I hope you die well.
So how do you kill it? What's the death blow for this squealing monstrous?
She grabs onto it and just starts shaking and trying to rip it to pieces, hoping she can send the body one way and the head the other
It's-
way.
Yeah.
Surprisingly easy to do, which is a little bit unnerving to think about. Like it's being held together by something, but as you shake, it just kind of like tears apart. And
It's hitting Kai, it's hitting Eldon.
I'm gonna have
Sorry,
you
guys. I hit my baby. I'm sorry.
it like roll a d100. Splits
Which
into
one do you want?
pieces.
You want the heavy one this time?
Not the heavy one. The heavy one, I feel like I'm gonna break
Oh.
the table with it. I think I'm dropping a cannonball every time I use that thing. That is 88.
Okay. And you just watch little bits that are kind of flying around in these little, like, they're not quite squealing, they're not formed enough. Just these little babies kind of spattering around. And you still have another attack.
Nice. All right. So can
And you are still grappled by this one, but you're obviously no longer grappled. There's tentacles still wrapped around you, but they're not attached to anything.
can I attack this one?
Yes.
Perfect. All right.
The one you're nuzzling with?
One day I swear I'll get everything. Oh.
Could still hit. Because it's plus 6.
We're gonna try that one again.
Oh, you're gonna redo
We're
it.
gonna try that one again. It was a
Are we doing
3.
an advantage on that one?
You do have
Just
advantage.
from the guiding
you have
bolt?
advantage on that.
Oh yeah.
So roll
So,
one more d20.
So keep that for now.
Oh okay.
That's an
Nat
natural
20. And a natural 1 at the same time.
But it was also +4. It's a nat 20 plus the 4 of the bless. Like she rolled
Right.
max.
Oh yeah,
everything.
yeah, yeah. So crit. And, like the energy flowing as you watched it kind of scatter into pieces. There's like you're there, but you also have that bear
Energy.
like
Mama bear, because you trampled my
yeah,
babies.
your baby
You
is
would have,
like
you would have to
looking
be
at
in Eldon's babies. What's wrong with
you
you?
like tore it, and as you looked, you saw Nyx's head peek out of the bag, like, and then you just turn around and launch into this thing. So you can roll damage,
So you get to
double
roll
the dice.
4d6.
4d6. You need another one? Got some fire.
Ooh. Let there be good luck.
Nope, it was the lowest one.
2 1s, a 2, and a 4. It's a 2, 4, 8, 8.
Plus another 4.
Plus another 4. So
12 points of that's the other one. Okay, 12. So okay, yeah, you tear into this creature behind, just ripping off one of the tentacles. You let it go flying, and then you go back into it. Anything else?
That's all I got right now.
All right.
Oh, Izzy, I forgot to ask. That one that attack of opportunity'd me was
Yes.
prone. Did it attack me at disadvantage?
It did not. Did I
It
hit
was
you?
a 22 to hit, yeah.
It would have been a straight roll. I will do a straight roll. That's a 15 plus.
Yeah, that hits anyways.
Plus.
Just wanted to make sure. I'm not
Alright.
horrible on hit points, but not great.
Ayla.
I'm going to.
Are you wearing the Starlight's tier, by the way, or do you just have it? Did you ever put it on?
I put it on before we started walking.
Okay.
As my defiant.
It is in your inventory, by the way.
Oh.
But anyway, it's not going to be
Does
helpful to you.
it give me magical
No,
thingies?
it's not helpful to you at the moment. But.
Alright, I'm going to firebolt the one that's prone over here.
Okay.
Whoa.
That's it. Still
That's
spinning.
oh
Still
my
spinning. Still
God.
spinning.
I feel like
I have never
Why did we not
happened.
record that? That was amazing. Shit roll,
I
but
wish I had known. I would have set it
Fun
up.
the entire time.
That was
That was
nuts.
That was
That was
that was
inception.
beautiful. That was beautiful fucking spin.
Never
yeah.
do that again. It's
It
hard.
I
even
mean,
hit
now
the-
I
it
know
even
this
hit
isn't
the
a
wall and
dream
then
because
kept
it
going.
did stop. So we live in this shitty reality. Let's see. So that's 18
That hits.
to hit. So it's a 2d8. My 8's at 20. And another 8. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 fire on the prone
Alright.
guy.
Describe the death blow of this creature as it's lying on the ground, trying to get itself back up to go get that bear.
I've just gone through some shit, so I see that one is down and looking rough, and I just again, it always comes back down to Avatar. I do these just very sharp movements, and you see the rage in my eyes as I do these swirls and then shoot this ball of molten plasma at it with extreme prejudice.
And it hits it, and you can hear that sizzling and this loud squeal that echoes off of the walls, and then it drops down and is cooking. I need you to roll a d100.
Oh no! Give me that heavy one.
I didn't say anything, but I was actually waiting for that one that just died to move, because Booming Blade has a secondary thing that if it moves before I have my next turn.
Oh my god.
What? You just threw it. You didn't roll it.
42.
Okay.
What?
You hear the
Break?
sizzling, and yeah, you should probably.
Yeah.
Well, that just
Can't
shows
have
the
been
how well built
Resilience
this
of
is.
that beautiful dice tray. You just hear the popping as the little thingies inside are burning and cooking. You guys all start to smell this. Who knows what it is?
Atrocious.
burnt meat that's continuing to burn as this one drops.
As a bonus action, I again give Mantle of Inspiration to everybody for 8 more temporary hit points.
But they don't
And
stack,
They don't stack.
I read the rest of this paragraph, so this is only going to actually apply to you. I almost said Zan. Kai, if you want, you can immediately use your reaction to move up to your speed without provoking opportunity attacks.
No, I'm gonna stay where I am.
I
appreciate
I
it,
didn't
though.
try.
I appreciate it.
I was like, oh, I didn't
The
finish
tables
reading
have
this
turned.
last time.
Okay. Anything else, Ayla?
That's it.
All right.
He's like,
At the top of the round, I am gonna say.
oh shit! I just
What?
realized I got hit with her
Concentration check.
atomic
Go ahead.
blast,
Go ahead
so-
and roll concentration.
Where's my? Ooh,
What is the?
none of you are blessed anymore.
Well, what was it?
Just in time for my turn.
Seven.
Oh, wait.
Seven
What's your
total.
real
Con-
problem?
Or
What's your con modifier?
yeah, so that was 6 plus 1.
Okay. -1, right? Because you're still. Oh no,
No.
your exhaustion's gone.
Yeah.
All right. So bless is gone. You felt like it was more the confusion again. Like you just watched as in that moment she had this energy and there was like a peace on her, like a peacefulness. And then all of a sudden it was like she lost control of it and it just blasted out. But you didn't have time. So it's just like, ugh. Like you have things to do at the moment, but confusion.
We're doing stuff.
All right, and
Do something.
top
Will
of the
you
round.
do something resembling anything?
We're
really wish you
going
recorded that spit.
to- I know.
I'm just like, I
could have
crazy.
I'm just sitting here. I'm like
That
still
was-
picturing it in my head.
Unbelievable.
Who am I gonna pick on? So I'm adding a thing at the top, initiative count 20, that something happens. Every battle.
If it's another one, I'm leaving.
No, it's not another one.
Just something happens.
Like something. I gotta think of something. You know what I am gonna say? At the top of the round, you hear it out in the distance. Again, you don't know how far, but squealing. Like a call, like a response.
Oh my god.
And it is now Eldon's turn.
Eldon's gonna move this way a bit. There's just the one that's being grappled by
this
the
one.
bear. And he's going to try to hit it with his bow.
Okay.
He's using one of his
Turn it around.
arrows for the extra d6. It's a 17 plus 9 to hit.
Yes, that
So
hits.
Theratrix's reaction, the D8 for the damage is Theratrix's reaction for the fire damage. As a bonus action, shit. Never mind, I'll do that next turn. And the arrow, fire, and the regular damage, because this is the arrow type. So that's 6 plus 4 is 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 points of piercing damage. 3 of that was fire.
If that
Okay.
matters.
I
You-
swear there's something flying around.
There is. It's probably.
There's a fly in here.
Oh, okay.
You loose the arrow. That like momentary confusion from Theratrix subsiding, and it like beelines. It's almost like, and it goes
Some Robin
straight
Hood Men in Tights
into
arrow.
like where the heart would be for this creature, and you can describe the
Yay!
as it, is it flaming? Oh, from the flame.
The arrow would be on fire, yeah. Just sinks deep and disappears. And when it opens its mouth, almost like in surprise, like just a little bit of smoke comes out, and it looks confused, and then it literally just drops dead.
And you feel all of the tentacles loose on your grappled body as this one drops. And we are out of initiative.
Let's get the fuck going.
However,
Let's
Out
go.
of here.
We should
you
move.
hear that squealing coming from somewhere. Are you running?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's do that.
Can we tell what direction it sounds like it's coming from?
You cannot, but you've been moving in a direction, so
Which direction were we moving?
that way.
Where the last one had run from.
But there were a couple that came from this way as well,
Oh, okay.
so they're kind of
everywhere.
coming from all over.
So we're just running in this direction?
Let's go.
All right. I'm gonna have you, as you are running through
Are the babies on you?
Yeah, put the babies on me. Someone please throw Nix's bag on my back, please.
Go run back, throw the bag onto your back. Are you still staying in starry form?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
are you staying in bear
Yeah,
form?
I'm
Okay.
gonna stay in bear form.
All right.
My little backpack on.
You kind of begin running through, I'll say, make a survival check, somebody, with,
I would say one of these two.
Who's got the highest
I got-
survival? I only got +2 for
I have +3.
She's it.
You.
20. Dirty 20.
okay. You are pushing through, you're kind of like directing Kethra where to go, because she's the biggest one of you all, and you're just like running through this jungle and pushing everything by. You see Theratrix kind of hangs back and away from you, but like is hanging back closer to Eldon. You hear another squeal coming from somewhere. I'll have another nature or survival, whoever wants to make it, to try to see if you are moving away from or towards the creature.
+4 nature or +4 survival, so I'll do it.
Yeah, +4 nature, go with that.
You have your thing still. You didn't need to use it.
Your inspired action.
That was worse. Alright. 6 + 4, so 10.
10. Okay. With a 10, but with you being, are you proficient or you're in nature?
Yeah, how's a bear not proficient in survival?
I believe so.
Bears aren't
So little
native
dot.
to the
No, only in keen smell.
tropical
Oh,
jungle.
Keen smell.
Yeah. You have advantage only on
Tell that to
smell.
Lost.
Those
Yeah.
weren't native.
Okay.
They have enough.
You know what? I'll let you roll again for perception with smell. Because I said nature, but this could also work.
Advantage.
You advantage. You get to roll again. Take the
I was
higher.
gonna say it was a 1.
Oh, it's a 2.
Oh.
It wasn't meant to be.
No.
Gotta
Give
throw
it-
that
you-
spin on it. Get a little English
No,
on
I
it.
gotta not care and just go like that. And it's better, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So what is that total? The 2.
2 + 4, 6.
Okay.
No,
You.
right? It's perception, right? With the smell.
It's 4.
Four.
4, trust
You
me,
are
I
not
know.
confident.
Not
You
the
know,
slightest.
but you are moving
The
forward
unconfident bear.
with confidence that at least Iolite is like pushing you towards the path of least resistance. You keep pushing through this jungle. Coming up ahead of you, you have a choice to make where you either are going to go to the left and you're headed east, just to keep it all in perspective, or you are going to go to the right. And the kind of path that you see, it's not a real path. It's not one that people have walked. It's just there's a rock formation that it's like we're either going up or we're going down. You only have a few seconds to make the decision. I'll say either a nature or survival,
I'm not doing it this time.
or if you have other ideas of like figuring out which direction would be the best way to go.
So the rocks look like it leads us up, and the other path looks like it leads us downwards.
No, it's just a split
Oh,
of going up. I meant like north or south.
I mean, I can roll. I only have a +2.
Oh, I can do.
And can she do it again? Or
Can
I mean, how are the house rules with that?
No, that's fine.
help.
Okay.
Give the help action. Give her advantage.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, you have advantage.
I didn't have to tell you what to do. Sorry.
Well, the two of you together, as like you're pushing through, you stop for a moment and
was gonna say sometimes like if it's like a challenge, then it's like one person
Yeah,
can
I'm
only
just
roll
doing this
one
as I go.
time,
Yeah.
so it's like
19.
Okay. You feel pretty confident, the two of you together, as you're thinking about like which direction this would land you in, and depending on where you are, and just thinking very quickly. Either way, you feel like going to the south is your best bet, because the
Going down
north
is
could
always
lead
easier
into
than up.
more. Yeah. So you turn and head
all right.
into the southeast and keep going. And you're not sure how long you continue to make your way through and to the south. It's 10, 20, 30, like you're going as fast as you can, and whatever is behind there, you can hear squeals and then another one. And there's multiples, and then like little like there's like a family out here of these things, and they have been multiplying in the days since you first saw them 10 days ago. And then you hear the sound of the ocean. And at first you're not sure, but you know.
It's the ocean for sure.
You know the sound of the ocean.
I know those waves anywhere.
And you push through this last bit of jungle, and a very welcome sight is greeting you.
The Navy.
As you are coming through the trees and see... Have you ever been to Beachmere?
Probably.
Okay. Beachmere is to the south.
That's where the rich people live, right?
It is not.
Oh, I thought it was like a rich resort or something.
No, that's Echo Haven.
Oh, okay.
Real native to this island.
I've been everywhere, man.
Before you is, it's like a scene out of a painting. This village on the water. Sorry, I lost the internet. Because it's my life right now. Ooh. You can see this, like, you know of it as being like a sanctuary. Like, people don't, not a real sanctuary, but just like from people who don't want that hustle and bustle of the city. They want to go, and like sometimes tourists will travel down this way. But it's a fishing village. It's a place that people go to escape, but there's a livelihood here. If you come here to live, you're going to be fishing or making things with your hands. And sometimes, again, that can attract tourists, especially rich folk, people with here.
Neat.
If they want shows, they will travel elsewhere, but you...
I came to learn how to knit.
Have you ever played Chrono Cross?
Yes.
Arnie Village,
Yeah.
where you first... Is that really what you thought of?
No, but
Oh,
that would be like
I was
perfect.
going to say, it was like a perfect image of...
Yeah, even
what
as
I'm
you're like
thinking of.
sweating on the edge of the village, you can see like these weathered fishing boats that are kind of returning back into the village. There's all of these like homes that are that combination of very brightly colored but also kind of like thatched roofs here and there. You see people are going about their business, and as you bust through the trees, not at the very edge, it's been kind of pushed back, but they've always lived like that, not having the jungle encroach upon what they're doing. You see a bunch of folks that look up and instantly like begin grabbing their weapons and going like, come away from the jungle, as a bunch of like these fisher folk with all manner of fishing tools.
Fishing
Tri-
tool.
tridents and stuff.
Just whatever they
I
have
have an image of
that
fishing rods,
sharpen.
just like,
I have an image of this old fisherman. He's like, come, and he takes his pole, screws off the top, and there's a blade on.
I mean, there's some of that stuff going on as they run forward and like kind of push you away from the edge of the jungle, and then you see at least one or two others that come forward and like whisper some incantations, and you begin to see this like it's not quite a tall wall of fire, but just like this fire that begins to come up into the space at the edge of the jungle. And there's a few minutes of like these creatures are coming forward, but then they begin to kind of push back as a couple of folks with higher level magics begin to like push, and the fishermen are slashing at them. They're just kind of outnumbered, especially with your help. And within a few moments, there's a pushback of these creatures as tons of people from this village. It's just like a numbers game. And then 5-10 minutes goes by, and the adrenaline begins to hush a little bit, and one of the villagers comes up to you and straight at you, of course. They're a dark skin, like black coal with white hair and a beard, very well trimmed, like very, very manicured. Probably about 4 feet tall, not even. Man, he comes up and tilts his head, and he's wearing fishing gear, but there's like something about him that's...
Is he a very short human, or is he
No,
like a gnome?
like a drow. He's got like pointed ears, but they're not the pointed, very tall. He looks like a combination, and is likely a mix of drow and halfling. And he approaches, looking at all of you as you're sweating and bleeding, but comes up to you specifically and just like, Ayla, my Rhea, what are you doing here?
Yeah, this is not where I expected to be, but a pleasant surprise.
Indeed. Welcome to Beachmere.
Aye.
Come, you can come to the medicine hut.
I throw up again.
Oh. Someone. Another couple of people come over and they like help you up. And
The bear
Over
picks
the
the paw. Just there you go.
The bear is with us.
I gather, yes.
I would have turned back because if we were going longer than 10 minutes,
Oh yeah,
I
you
would
were.
do normal
You
again.
so you would come back
just
to normal.
throwing up normal.
Yeah, you're probably have
Throwing
like
up
10.
stars.
I probably got a couple minutes left.
Yeah, a few minutes left.
You're getting galaxies.
I mean, it is once the moment subsides and you are able to kind of just let the adrenaline, like you're shaking a little bit as it's coming through, that like sea air hits you. There's also a smell of like fresh fish, off in the distance, but
Which can be good or bad, depending on how you feel.
right, yes, it's still raining out there, but they bring you over into the more like into the medicine hut. As you can see, like there's a couple of people in there, some not shades, but curtains that have been drawn to like cut off where some folks are, so there's a little bit of privacy, and they just kind of like sit you down and bring you some broth and like start to take care of you. And one of them's like, how are you feeling? Is it a disease or something? Were you afflicted by anything from those creatures?
No, I just have. I think I ate something this morning. I don't
Bad
think it's them.
timing.
Yeah,
Bad timing. Then chase.
you're telling me. Bad day.
Horrible. And another one comes over to Eldon and just like checks in.
Thanks.
Are you bleeding?
He's bleeding everywhere.
Oh,
You
okay.
bleeding?
You're
Consistently
bleeding?
getting
You got a
fucked
little
up.
blood there? Is this blood yours? They
I thought it was
are.
inside my body, but you know.
They are
Trying to
able
get back.
to.
Just like, sorry for making such a mess of your floors. It was like,
Sorry, I was standing too close to you. I was standing too close to you.
You get back 6 hit points from a healing draft that they give you. It like just kind of soothes as
are
it
the
goes
nurses
down.
cute?
Sure. Whatever your idea of cute is, that's what they are.
Isla's gonna be happy with you.
Keeping his mouth shut so far.
You see, are you as well?
Yowza, these are hot
Perfect.
nurses.
Yeah, I'll take some. I'm not as bad, but
You'll take some.
I'll take some.
So one of them comes over to you and is like, "Oh wow, you really brave being out in the sun, just in general." And, like gives you some. You get 6 healing back
What
as
if
well.
this is someone putting sunscreen on him?
It's just very pale. They're in the it's a fishing village. They are used to being out in the sun. And
He must be poisoned. He's so pale.
and the halfling drow comes over to you and just, "Are you all right,
Yes.
Miss Myrea?"
I am fine. Thank you for your hospitality.
I apologize. I know who you are, but you wouldn't know who I am. But I'm Melchior. I am here and just I am not quite the leader, but I am spokesperson for the village. A bit far from the city and taking risks today in the rain. What brings you this way? Typically we've seen people come from the road. Did you get lost from your escort?
No escort. It has been a day. It's been a day. I'm sure you're aware how the jungle can sometimes feel like it is in one location and maybe be in another location.
It is a
in the blink of
very,
an eye.
very confusing sleeping wilds. They are. You must be careful.
Yes.
So you're out here on your own, in the jungle.
Yes.
Wow.
And we managed to take out several of them, but it is not sustainable out there at the moment.
No, especially if they outnumber you.
Yes.
We've found that being in numbers, those particular, the pygmy boars being transformed, they don't come here.
Have you seen the other ones?
We've heard tale, we've heard rumor from those coming from the city.
Those ones are worse.
We have heard. Yes.
Do you get attacked often?
Well, often is a relative term. We were never attacked ever before, just a few days ago. So
Yes, true.
often, even once. We do have some folks, and he kind of gestures over to the curtains. Lots of strange happenings.
You have not happened to notice any strangers all in black passing by, controlling animals?
No, not that. Not, I would say, perhaps this is the least colorful individual I've seen in quite some time.
They would be wearing hoods.
No. Not here. Come, let's go get you some food.
Kethra had changed back now.
Ooh, food.
After that conversation.
It's like, okay, we can trust you now.
Druidic
Yes.
descent. Very good.
And she'll pick up Nyx.
Oh, reaches up. May I?
And I was like,
And she?
yeah, you can.
This is she or he?
He. That's, yeah. He looks over and at you with Theratrix. Where's Theratrix at this moment?
On my shoulder.
Okay.
Like hiding in like his hood a little bit, but you could definitely. He's getting too big. You can see his head and his tail.
Okay. He looks up at you and says, "Oh, interesting. I feel as though you may get along with one of our own. It's the first time I've seen." He's like trying to get a good angle, but he's kind of a little bit short. Is that a drake on your shoulder?
I'm gonna look at Theratrix and look down. No. No, it is not.
No. Looks like one from here.
He'll extend his arms, so he'll like.
Just a lizard I
Crawl
found in
down.
the jungle.
It's my new friend. And Theratrix will look him in the face, like when he looked at me, like when I try to look in his eyes.
Ah. Interesting.
Is he like right here? Is he like invading his personal space?
It's close, but not that close. That's just rude. Theratrix is a good boy.
Still learning. It's not rude if you're learning.
I feel as though you should meet Cosdy. You may have much to speak about.
Cosdy.
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 Come. We'll get you some food. And he leads you out of the medicine tent, and through. It's still, even though there's rain, you know, they're kind of used to it here. Rain isn't going to stop people from going out if it's light rain, which it is today.
We're already soaking wet, so.
Yeah, it's not going to stop them from going out and trying to. There we go.
Kai is somehow dry.
Well, is he doing it like every 10
I was
minutes?
gonna say you'll be.
Just when no one's paying attention, he's just freshening himself
So
up.
you're still wet, but like every 30 seconds you're just drying yourself off.
He brings you into one of the
Unless you're casting
larger, like a larger building that is a mixture of stone and wood, but still like brightly painted on the outside. And even as you walk in, you can see that it's kind of like a communal dining area. They have it set up so that there are large windows all along the sides that are open air windows. There's no glass or anything in this particular one. There's like shutters that they'll close if it gets bad. But it lets in a lot of light even here, and you can see through the door that he leads you into. If you like turn around and look, you can see the ocean out there and the boats coming in and out. And there are tables and chairs everywhere, and you can smell like not necessarily great for you, but like fresh fish and things being cooked. Imagine the wonderful smell of fresh fish and vegetables, spice.
Making me freaking
Patrick,
hungry.
not Kai, throws up.
You're making me hungry.
And he sits you down and goes off to go get. You can see all different types of folks here. I would say Kai and Ayla. You both, as you sit down and people start bringing over drinks and rum punch, which is refreshing. It's iced. They even have ice here.
Refrigeration.
It's
Or
hard.
like a dude in the back whose
just
only
like,
magic is to cast ice cubes,
Yes.
ray of frost.
It actually wouldn't be too cantrippy, so
I mean,
lots
I
of
have
folks
that. I can make ice.
So they bring you out like chilled drinks, and there is as you're kind of looking around, this island is very diverse anyway, but this is also, as you view it, it's like these are all folks that found themselves here. Like there isn't more of any one particular type of person. Like in Devenia, there's a lot of humans there. In Summerland, it's specifically for tieflings. In Kalia and Cassia neighboring, like there's a lot of folks that have elven, human And then, like, on the Cassian side, where you were from, the more hobgoblin, goblin, orc kind of mixture with all of the elves and the humans and stuff. And then, of course, in Eporia, there is more of the lizard folk, dragon folk, humans, some sprinkling of half-elves here and there. This is just very diverse, and for a small fishing village, it's like these people came here and then were like, I'm not leaving. Like, this is where I need to be now. It's just a very eclectic bunch here. Lots of different cultures represented in the food and in the decor in this room. You can see little groups are like together, but no group has more than one or more than two of the same type of person sitting at the table. So it's just very interesting that they all came here and are fishing or knitting or crafting. But as you sit and kind of take a moment, you're having food brought over to you.
Is that dude still sitting with us?
No, he went off to... He's like kind of directing people to come. Now you can call him over. He's still in the room. He's just
I didn't know if he sat us down.
No, he's giving
still
you a
there.
moment to collect yourselves if you want.
Did he say his name was Melchior?
Yes, I believe that is what his name was.
It could be a coincidence, but the person who owned the theater before Melpomene, I think, was also named Melchior. I think.
Yeah.
Could just be a coincidence. But
You have a very good memory.
I take notes.
Are you saying this so we all hear it?
I don't want to be super loud and I don't want him to hear.
But I
Melchior
mean-
No, you
to
can.
hear.
You can.
You say
It's
it's
like
Could I
a
say it so
table
that
that
they
you
would
What I
can.
mean
hear?
is,
It's
are
a
you
short
saying it to her to...
I'm saying it to
You would hear at the table.
But, like, with the understanding that you
You're
guys
much
can also
closer
hear.
to
I
each
just
other.
don't want Melchior to hear me at this point.
Is that the one that Melpomene said gave her the necklace? Just gonna look over it.
And bad things happened to, and then he disappeared, or something.
Melpomene said that she was given the necklace by a
A
former lover. She did
Oh.
not specifically
Oh, I
say but Lunu told you, so these are Lunu's words, that Melpomene stole the theater from Melchior by spreading lies and rumors, and then there was an accident during one of the shows that people got hurt, and then Melpomene was able to purchase the theater for cheap, and Melchior left.
It's been a hell of a fucking day. I might as well ask him.
Yeah.
Are you okay? You kind of exploded a little bit.
Can you move that? Because it can't pick you up.
Are you okay? You kind of exploded a little bit.
You can put it, like, switch your dice. There you go.
I don't like this setup.
I can't hear you.
Way.
I can't hear you.
No.
Unless you're yelling.
Oh, I can do that.
No.
So be louder.
Oh, well,
Be a
wait,
louder Ayla.
Wait for my next character. I'm going back to loud.
Going back.
Keep Ayla alive.
We're all excited.
You're all getting a reprieve with. I can't do this voice very loud.
Ayla, I'm not okay. I don't know what's going on. My magic is doing. It feels like I couldn't control it there.
Are you? I look at him, and then I lean in and whisper, "Are you pregnant? You have vomited many times today."
No, like really loud.
A couple of people like look over. One person was bringing over like a big plate of like coconut shrimp, and they're like, "Is this still okay for the table?"
Yes. thank
No
you.
seafood for the lady. She's expecting.
No, I'm not pregnant. I'm just not feeling right.
Did she just say pregnant?
Jeez.
Just
Holy shit! Did you just say that?
double checking.
I don't. But we're all like, you've been
You all
with
are
me
much
every
closer at the
day.
table. Right here.
Last 6
You're
months.
only like 3 feet away from like
Guy
2
just,
feet
like,
away.
looked at
Well,
her
that's
like,
why like I was
You were about to whisper some
I
out.
whispered it to her. That's why I was like,
Yeah, but then
I'm
she
like,
did, but she didn't
No,
whisper
yeah. You have been with me day and night for the last like 6 months.
I am
No.
just trying to cover all the bases.
No, I just don't feel right, okay?
Okay. So you're glowing extra, and then there was the dragon, and there was impressive power, and then there was explosion. But
Yes, all
okay.
just the typical signs of pregnancy. Yeah, the dragon, the exploding. No.
Okay.
Has
Kethra's gonna go, quit while you're ahead, Hyla. While you're ahead.
has your magic ever done anything like this before?
Not this bad. No, it's been a little funky. That whole thing happened where I couldn't read for a little bit. That was sort of a weird thing, but nothing like that where it's kind of backfired and hurt someone.
Do you know what might cause it? So you couldn't read before,
Yeah.
and now today, is there anything in common?
I was trying to use my shard. I found that like I can channel that sometimes and it makes things more powerful, and I thought I had it kind of under control. Maybe I got a little cocky about it, I guess, because I had been doing it more and more and nothing bad's happened for a while. So
This is probably the most you have used it, yes?
yeah, for sure. So maybe I'll just like, cool it for a while. Just do some more, less unpredictable magic.
These
If I
times
can
are
help it.
not quite predictable.
Yeah, but I don't want to blow up my friends
Yes.
or their dragons.
There, it just looks, not saying anything.
It's like a dog when it gets shocked. One time's enough.
Oh my god, he's never gonna trust me again.
It's alright. He's gonna have him on his shoulder and he'll just like pop him in the air so he can like glide over to her.
Are you okay?
He glides over, but doesn't get as close, and just looks and says, "I'm fine."
Oh my god.
Then scoots back.
We're in a hut. or
It's like a
something?
pretty open, not open air because it does have a roof, but like there's windows that are large and
Are there
open.
like rafter type things that I can like?
It's kind of,
No.
I wouldn't. It's not that level of.
It's like one of
Yeah,
those,
I mean,
like,
there's kind of
beach-
rafters that have
Well,
like
I was
stuff
gonna just like
hanging.
basically hold him and like toss him.
Oh
so
yeah,
he, like,
yeah, he can hang up.
flit
in
up
these,
there and just kind of like hang and look.
Yeah,
over
they're like
us.
these wooden kind of rafters that
Yeah.
hold up the thatched roof. Yeah, he's just. Up
He's
there.
just chilling up there.
You see Nick's just
Nix is literally head against my chest, like
Heart still beating.
Oh,
like
baby.
he's having a panic attack. He's a bit of a drama king.
How far is
Sorry,
Beachmere
Third
from the
has died
city?
a couple times already, so he's getting used to it.
Nix is like, no, this does not happen. No, I was
no.
promised bread and no death. Thank you.
So Beachmere. I'll pull up the map of Yumari again.
Oh, it's here now.
Oops.
Oh,
I don't
cool.
want it there. I don't want it
It's upside
there.
down.
So are you drawing us a map in the sand?
Okay, hold on.
I'm sprinkling the salt on the table.
Whoa!
Sorry, I cannot see it there, so it's not going to stay there. Beachmere is down here.
Oh, okay.
So
we are
it's-
way. Wait,
We took a trip.
we went here and ended up.
Nope, you
No.
were not here.
No? I thought we went that way.
No.
No.
Oh,
Nope.
there.
We went out. We went like across the river, like somewhere around.
You
Oh,
you
okay.
were like somewhere
Everything
around
changed.
here, so you were somewhere like about here
Okay.
when you kind of pushed your way through. It's not. It's still jungly, but not as jungly.
Right,
So
see, I thought
following
you
the
said
road,
we were in the Sleeping Wild, so I thought
your
we
Sleeping
were all...
Wilds is all
I
of
was gonna
this.
say, the Sleeping Wilds is pretty much
It's basically
everything.
everything in between the cities.
It's everything.
Oh, so even the lightly forested is
It's
still Sleeping
it's
Wild?
still considered it, but like this is where you don't go.
Okay, that's where I thought we were.
You were
That's
kind
where
of
we
like
spent
down
most of our
here.
time.
You were like about down here. Cryon is up here,
Yeah.
so you were down here somewhere,
That's where we got teleported to.
somewhere in there.
Okay.
Yeah. You would know that it's probably a half day's journey along the road.
Well,
Like
missing
not
that show.
like probably 7 hours,
And what time is it now? If it was
3-ish.
I don't think you're gonna make it.
we must find a telephone.
What time was your show?
8.
Do you have an understudy?
I think you're.
No.
She's just a
not.
stagehand.
So any of them would
Eldon
like
doesn't know anything
Elmfrid
about
would
that.
do it.
Oh,
Anybody's
Elmfrid would love
would
that.
do it, but like nobody wants to see Elmfrid.
Everyone's gonna see Ayla in the curtain opens and
I don't know. It's like Times Square. There's like pictures of me and shit like that, and then
Eldon wants to see Elmfrid. My one-shot character wants to see Elmfrid. That's right.
He's,
Good job, honey.
So
No, we at least now know where we are, and we know we will not be making it back tonight.
Melchior comes over to the table and kind of picks up on you saying that you need to make it back to the city tonight.
I had a performance to do, but clearly, it is too dangerous to travel now at night.
We could perhaps lend horses. We would need them returned. But he sits down next to you. It's like kind of bench seating. So he just sits down next to you, Ayla. We have a bit of a problem here, and we haven't been able to get much help. It's just, yes, we supply fish and goods to the city, but right now they're more concerned with the city. And when they've sent some guards to help us, I don't know if they'll even go back to being military folk at this point. The ones that you saw helping, push back, they loved it so much they've taken their uniforms off. Don't tell anyone.
We ended up in fucking Colorado.
But unfortunately, they're not really taking us seriously in what we need, and our trade has been good to them, but I'll cut to the chase. There have been one of our own returned from a trip from the city several days ago and has an affliction we cannot identify. And they did not bring us healers when they sent aid. And we are very appreciative of what was sent. Of course, soldiers that can fight have been wonderful at rallying our people and training us to be able to push back against anything that's coming from the Sleeping Wilds. However, after you eat, would you allow me to show you?
Yes, sure.
And perhaps if
I mean, if you have extended this hospitality, we can obviously do what we can to repay the debt.
I only ask because you are Ayla Myrea of the Starlight Concert Hall, and there is some renown with that establishment. And perhaps if Ayla Myrea goes to the city and requests that they send us a healer with knowledge, they will send us a healer with knowledge. But I want to show you so you can describe. And if we lend you horses, you can get there in a few hours. You can get there for your show.
I see. By any chance, how familiar are you with the Starlight concert hall?
It's been many years. But I know of it.
Do you happen to know the former owner?
He just smiles at you when you say that. I know him very well.
Perhaps when there is time, there's stories that can be told.
Well, if there's one thing I love, it's a good story. Just fucking technology. But please eat, and we'll discuss when you're done. Just I'll be over there.
Right, thank you.
Enjoy. And he gets up and heads over to.
Big plate of fish stew. Look at that guy.
Hey, Kai comes from a place with a bay, so Kai doesn't mind.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta
He's
remember,
eating
you gotta remember,
shrimp.
Who can't handle it?
Kai is not
Battered
Patrick.
shrimp, fried shrimp.
Not gonna happen. I will fight you if you try and feed me fish.
He sits away from me if I eat it. It's bad.
So you enjoy your food. There are folks looking at you, but mostly just because you're new faces in a small fishing village, and you see some kids that like run by and like then run by again and then like run by again, and they're all looking in as they're running back and forth. But otherwise, do you discuss anything or finish your meal and head over to Melchior?
Appears you might have been right about that. Are you still bleeding?
They healed him. They healed him up.
Okay, I didn't
He's
know
not
if just
bleeding
like,
any-
Actively bleeding.
Not actively.
It's like you're like.
No. Again, our Ark would have. He would have given a shit. But no, he's all patched up, but he's still pretty busted up. He's always busted up. He's a walking bruise.
This poor guy. I keep looking up at Theratrix.
He's just kind of looking around.
Unless anybody had anything else, I would just finish eating, and then I guess go see what he
Okay.
wants.
So the whole time, Eldon's throwing bits of food up at Theratrix so he can like snap it out of the air.
And that's why everybody's looking at us.
Hey, he can hang his little tail
That
down.
weird group. They're throwing food at the lizard.
Dragon.
They don't know that.
It's flying.
He's got fucking wings, dude.
People know
What
he's,
do
he's like a little dragon. It's,
What flying lizards do you know?
you would know from the city that there are some people. So to put some context around why it might not be that weird, the Mosswick has all kinds of folks, and it's a haven for like people with money who want to come and it's tropical island. So there are some folks out there that have baby dragons that have some kind of magic on them, whether it's a collar or some other thing that keeps them babies. It's not a super common thing.
So some rich ladies in the
Yes.
city, like walking their
Yes.
baby dragons with like
It
a big,
is-
Dragons.
yeah, big
Teacup
encrusted
dragons.
It is-
It's the equivalent of
baby
the lady
stroller
who has,
with
like,
the
the
baby
little
dragon.
Pomeranian in the backpack.
Well, I would
Little
go a
girl
step
or something.
further to say that it is the equivalent of somebody walking around with a pet tiger. It is incredibly, stupidly dangerous to be doing that, but it's a thing that some people do to show their wealth.
Every once in a while, the newspaper has a story about a baby dragon that bites off in a rich lady's face.
Not in Mosswick. You haven't heard about it necessarily, but it's one of those things where whatever magic is keeping that dragon, that age, that size, that condensed, if it were to be
Theratrix
removed,
saw that, he would not like that.
it would be a problem. But it's a thing. It's a thing.
He goes on a tangent through the city, just ripping off the enchanted necklaces of "Free, my brothers, free!"
But the thing is, it keeps them, they're not maturing, they are like perpetually young and so more malleable. But should that magic not be there, they would be dragons, which are incredibly intelligent. It's not that they're stupid, it's just that they're being kept babies. They're being kept little. So that...
Would they grow?
You know? But it's not...
Beatrix
Find
might
out.
make this fucking Dragon Island.
So, like, the fact that you have a dragon is like, all right, we've seen that before. It's a thing beyond what most people would understand because, like, not
But he
the
doesn't
average
have any
person.
like collars or anything
No,
like that. So.
but not necessarily all of them have a collar per se.
Oh.
There's like some kind of magic that keeps it as there would have to
So
be.
they just think we're rich assholes.
Maybe, I mean, or at least one of you. Maybe you. Who knows? Maybe that's your new pet dragon.
You're the most famous person on the island, so
It's just you, maybe.
You are the 1%.
I'm not rich.
Eat the rich.
you live in the richest city and literally have posters everywhere. But
Yeah.
Hey,
whether or not you
look,
are rich, people. Think
I'm on
about
They
strike.
think-
I support the writers and actors. I don't make a livable wage.
For all you know, there are rumors that you're a fuckboy who's been sleeping out on your balcony that people see. Now you got a dragon.
Oh my god, the
When I
Moss.
write the Mosswick like
I was
gossip
gonna say
rag,
the Mosswick
The Mosswick
tabloid.
Suns. The Mosswick
The
Suns.
Mosswick
Mosswick Suns.
oh my god, we have to write it.
God.
Some
I
people have been
forgot
yelling
that-
up at you.
I
from that
forgot that
balcony.
you did that. Like the first night I was there.
Hey.
Yeah.
So you stand up and gather your things, and then Theratrix kind of glides down to rest on your shoulder.
They're like,
I
I
will-
heard he fucks the owl too.
Right up on the roof. Right up on the roof.
Eldon.
You hear those?
After he's
He's
done
never
with
even
Ayla,
just one person. This is what happens.
after
You're,
after
now you're
he's
the
done
freak.
with Ayla, he sneaks out onto the balcony and rendezvous with that owling bitch on the
Sloppy seconds.
Dragon Man fornicates across theater. There's a grainy Bat Boy picture of you on the cover.
And Theratrix was on your back, so the wings were like out to the side a little bit.
But it's like a picture of him with
He
his
flies
mouth.
from-
He was like yelling at someone like, "Get out of here!" But it's like,
Close your balcony at night, or the Batman will come in and fornicate with your wife.
As you are kind of walking out, you see a little girl
Pat
who
Bachelor
looks
strikes
like she
again.
might be a half elf. You see that little bit of dusting that the half elves have, and definitely the elves have. Like their skin is like glowing. Just comes over and has a little bit of like a little piece of bacon, and is like, "Can I feed the kitty?"
Of course, go ahead.
Hands it up.
And next, he sticks his paw out like this to her,
She reaches up
and they go.
and she runs back, and you can hear her going, "Mommy, she let me boo."
on Yamari Island, bacon eats you.
And I hear Nick. I like that. That was good. Oh God.
See what you've done.
So you head over, and you can see Melchior as you approach. He's been chatting with. He's just like kind of talking to everybody. It's kind of interesting to see as he. I heard that one.
We can't go a session without someone's guts
No,
announcing themselves.
I was gonna say it felt like somebody just twisted my frickin' liver in half. Ow! It wasn't even my stomach. It was like over here.
So as you're watching him, like everyone's gathering up, and you look over to head over to him. He is talking, he's conversing, and you can't help but feel this. If this is the Melchior that used to own the Starlight Concert Hall, he has this gravitas about him. He has this thing, like people are gravitating to him and talking to him, and they smile and laugh and then head out, and there's a similarity to Melpomene in that way, but knowing a little bit more about how she operated, it's like this feels more natural, like more organic. Whereas you were watching people as she walked down the street, they're just not paying attention. Then they're like, oh, and they kind of like turn towards her as if drawn to her in a more magical sense. He's just, people just come to him, and he knows everybody, and he's talking to them, and it's just something you notice as you...
He's got the riz.
And another thing that you notice is that as you are stepping up and start walking, and you didn't notice it at first just because you were so, so much was happening. Now you're healing, now you're running, you're sitting down, you're eating, but there is this little, heads are turning towards you. Nobody's coming up necessarily, but you can see people as you walk, they're not paying attention, then suddenly they are, and then they just kind of smile at you and keep going. And you can see that there is a noticeable reaction to you that you didn't have before. You are used to people.
Do we all notice this?
What's everybody's passive insight?
17.
Only an 11.
13.
12. Everybody except for me.
No, Kethra and Iolite. You notice that it is... you've always noticed that people pay attention to Ayla. But this is more of people who were not paying attention to Ayla, suddenly their heads snap over when she walks 10 feet or so from them. They're just over here, and 10 feet's pretty good. It's from behind that to over here, and then people are just oh, they notice that she's there, and then there's a smile that they feel good that she's there. And Kethra, you notice that as well. And you always kind of liked Ayla, but
She's alright.
yeah, she's
alright.
she's good. You feel good about having stepped up for her in that moment and saying she's part of your group. And then you approach Melchior, and he smiles as you approach, and says, I hope you enjoyed and had a good drink. I regret to say that what I'm about to show you is not exactly dessert worthy, but I think it's important, and we can get you back to Moswick very quickly, if you'll just do us this favor.
Yes, of course.
Come. Thank you. And he, lightly touches your hand and then brings you forward. You go head back to that medicine hut, and as you're walking, people are, noticing Ayla, and, Melchior is smiling and waving to people and yelling things out, how's whoever the fuck? Oh, great. And you head back into the hut, and he approaches one of the people who's clearly there to help out, not necessarily medicine, but not magic, beyond low
Son
level.
of a bitch.
And
Are you reading the
Did you just
description of that
finally look at
necklace
it
now or
inside your
something?
thing?
finally looked at the necklace that's been there for 2 weeks. So
I don't know if I like this now after everything that's happened.
So he
It's cursed. It doesn't let you get rid of it.
He steps over, and you can hear him whispering with this person that's kind of tasked with checking on people. There's a couple of them in the room, and then they,
Nothing.
If it's in your inventory, does that mean Ayla knows what it does?
I haven't attuned to it yet.
You've been wearing it. You put it on, right?
Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you have attuned to it. So you see the person kind of look at all of you, and then they're going back and forth a little bit, and then they just nod, and Melchior steps back over to you. All right. I do want to preface this with, again, they arrived from having gone to the city. Had dropped off some fish and goods from Beachmere as typical. And when they did arrive, they were nearly incoherent, but they described, we were able to get them to let us know that they had run into a person whilst at the docks. And not that there was an altercation, but this individual bumped into them, and she struck them in the stomach. And they didn't think anything of it at first, but...
With their hand or with a weapon?
Not sure. We couldn't get much. Over the coming days, they have slipped into this state that you will see, and I don't think my words can do it justice as good as I am with them. He steps back and pulls the curtain open, and lying on the bed, you see this person, humanoid. They're sweating. Perhaps human or half elvish. It's really hard to tell. Their skin has turned this like black, but not black like Melchior, like a drow. It's like this. It's an unhealthy. Like their skin was not black before, and there's like. As you look at them, they're wearing a sheet on top, and you can see it's kind of radiating up, like vines, kind of, not organic vines necessarily, but under the skin, just radiating up from under the sheet. And their hands are by their side, and they're just kind of the beads of sweat coming down. They're not really moving. And Melchior steps over, and when he... pulls down the sheet, you can see white covering the chest, but then just underneath in the stomach, there's a single point where everything is radiating from that is like pulsing very slightly, black and green, and a little bit of like dark orange red, just like this point that's then spreading down. You can tell that it's like it's taking over this person. And as it's pulsing, you catch a glimpse of... You can watch as, like, it looks as if a time lapse of watching a vine grow or a plant. It's just kind of reaching out, and you can see that it, even in real time, it's not super fast, but you can see the very slow progression of like a plant, like a rotting plant growing inside of this person.
How long were they sick for, Melchior?
It's been about 9 days since they left the village. The city, I'm sorry.
And were they able to give you a description of what the person looked like?
A woman. I believe they said like dark brown skin. Nothing special, dressed in common clothing. Human.
Has anyone else shown symptoms?
We have kept Tolasar here and away, because when they did arrive, they, after a day, attempted to attack, which is not in their nature at all. After that was thwarted, we had them bound, and then they slipped into this state, and we unbound them when it became clear. But I can only describe it as a rot that is spreading.
Does it vaguely resemble the other abominations we've encountered? Does it look like similar?
No, it doesn't. But everybody make me a... let's say this is an intelligence check.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
I'm gonna use that because I have them.
Yeah, you know,
Better,
I'm gonna
'cause
use
I
that
have
too
it, and
because I
I'm
have them.
dumb.
Oh, everybody's as you're all sitting there.
We see what time it is.
Intelligence check, yeah.
That is
Nice. There we go. Okay.
not any better.
19.
Okay, 19,
8.
18.
18,
7.
7,
16.
You didn't
16.
use your thing? Oh, you already used it. Didn't you?
Just it.
I only use
I
it because
always-
it's like we're at the
I
end.
always forget it. Thank you for
I'm going to say that the two of you, Eldon, Iolite, you step forward and get a little bit close. Melchior doesn't stop you, and you feel fairly confident given that, you know, they have unbound this person since whenever that happened, and you kind of get a little bit closer, and then you have this, like, epiphany moment where the two of you look up at each other and then both look at Kai, and you're like, the rot
throughout the island.
trail. It looks just like that.
I
And then
was actually going to ask
This
that,
person
That's what I was
staggering
but I
across
didn't.
the island.
But I just thought it was like black. I didn't remember the colors or anything like that. I thought you said it was just black.
and then
before.
Kethra, as you're sitting there looking, it's a long shot, but it Felicia. It's dark
I
brown
was
skin.
Fucking knew it. I knew it. I
Did
was
you-
gonna say
did you-
anything. I didn't say it, but I freaking had a feeling.
I like shot a look over there, hoping I'd catch her eye. 'Cause that's why I asked about. Sorry.
You know, she doesn't
Got,
dress
like,
in anything
excited.
crazy. She's got dark brown skin. She's not necessarily. I mean, she was a baker in your village. Not necessarily known for
Baker bitch.
lashing out and stabbing a person or whatever, but she's also one of the many people who have been sent out by your father to just track you down and bring you back. And you also now know that she was in the city
She was even at the docks.
9 days ago.
Yep.
At the
She
docks.
went missing.
And she's
on the missing boat.
on that boat. And that's where we're going to.
Many things.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting there going, oh, gross.
Gross.
Glad I'm not it.
What was the one? The other was it Ooze?